Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Wednesday night's live intuitive oracle reading. So, got another awesome wig, but the part is messed up in this one too. So I liked it and I wanted to wear it, but it's probably going to go bye-bye in just a few minutes. But I wanted y'all to see it, but I'm going to go back to my brunettes. I think I'm going to find someone who fixes wig parts, I guess, because they all seem messed up in the middle, but they look so pretty on the other side. How's everyone doing tonight? I see some new names and I'm super excited about that. So I can't wait to get started tonight. I got some of my old decks. I did get a new deck. Ghost Dragons bought me a new deck and it got here yesterday, but it is kind of a personal readings deck. It's more of an interpretive deck that you would use with other cards. So these are going to go for my love readings or anyone asking questions about love. So let's see. I am announcing winners tonight too, guys. So, all right, Arisha McCoy, what is up, girl? You too. Like, you're taking turns each week. Arisha McCoy, Miss Lotus Girl, my sisters that are twins. I'll just be the triplet. There you go. Now we're triplets, ladies. Blue Crossroads. I already knew you could cook. That doesn't mean I won't cook for you, though. Andrew and Gnomes Trucking. What's up, Nomeo? Val SWPA. So is that Val, Southwestern Pennsylvania? So if you are brand new, as in you've never been in here before, and sometimes it's hard to tell because I've been doing this stream for 2.5 years, and sometimes people come in, twice a year or something. So if you've been in here before, don't be offended. But if you haven't, please let us know. Although you're in here fairly early, so we really won't have to skip you anyway. Let's see. Who else? Ghostdragonzw. Guys, the reason I didn't leave him on screen is you'll wait till you see him. You guys are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. Long Island Bigfoot, thank you for sharing out. Cindy Norris, Mama Cindy, welcome. Slow Motion, Anna Enriquez, coming from LIB. Yes, new names. Oh wait, I saw someone else too. Sasquatch Confessions here for the first time. I said to Ghost Dragons, and he actually said it to me too. I'm like, we're gonna have a lot of new people tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna take the week off, put the clip in, and we're gonna rock out tonight. We're gonna have an amazing time on the rocks and in the soil. Michael Godbold, welcome. Miss Smoochie and Edna. And yes, we've been trying to, I know I've also been trying to keep you lifted up and really send that positivity and that healing light. I know your surgery is on the 12th, and we're going to do everything that we can to get you in and out and convalesce quickly. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. There's just a lot of conversation going on, whereas normally I'd have to go through like 20 little conversations or 20 little chats, I guess. There's like 1,000 in here right now, so I could have very well missed some people. And if I did, don't take it personal. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean that Ghost Dragons missed you. Grasshopper. I always want to say et al, but I know it's ETAI, right? Robert Haywood Jr., my cousin. What is up, boo? Oh, I'm so happy to see some new people in here. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to bring in Ghost Dragons. I'm going to announce the winners. I'll probably have to announce them more than once because I know one person that won is listening, one person that won is in the chat, and another person that won should be here later on. We did it by numbers, guys, because basically what Long Island Bigfoot and I did on Friday night in his stream, that's what Ghost Dragons and I always do to choose winners. So let's bring in the man of the hour here. Oh, Slow Motion has a question. Yeah, so far we've got a few new people in from your stream, and I kind of had a feeling. So I told Ghost Dragons to make sure that he was on point tonight, even more so than usual. It's hard. Listen, I used to have to do it all myself for like 90 readings a night. I used to have to take the list, deal with the channel, and do the readings and everything else. So totally get it. I have a big question for all of you. I am almost going to get a dog. What do you think? Do you think? Maybe we should see what your oracle says, but I don't see how getting a dog could ever be a bad thing, unless you're not an animal lover, right? Because they're great companions. The cave chain. Yeah, thank you. I knew. I'm like, I first saw him, I was like, whoa. He's like, it's been a while. I'm like, yeah, we've been going through some stuff. Yeah, he's got a haircut. He's got back to the suit and tie. Yes, 2 dogs, Sasquatch Confessions says. All right, guys. So why don't only possums, Miss Smoochie? Well, and Bigfoot, right? Possums and Bigfoot. So I saw this grasshopper. I agree that dogs are too needy. That's why I don't have them as pets. But I think for a lot of people, it's actually that neediness that really endears them to dogs. So I saw this video where there were 2 raccoons and the person caught them kind of sneaking through their yard, and they banged on the window and they're filming. And the caption says, "We're caught, Brian. Just act cool." Or
the one like this, standing like this.
Yeah, one of them's just standing, normal raccoon looking at the person who banged on the window, and then he pans over to the other one, and the other one's standing on its hind legs going like this. I laughed so hard, I cried at that. I wanted to show you guys a couple things I got. I got rhodonite. It kind of looks like the He-Man guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Skeletor.
That's it. Pretty awesome, great craftsmanship on this one. And then I got a red jasper feather. And this is, believe it or not, a green phantom ghost quartz necklace, but the it's just because it has tiny little like splashes of green in it, and that's just the way the crystal goes. Okay, so our 3 winners. Miss Casey. Oh, before I say anything, you guys don't swap out and don't be like, no, give it to someone else instead. You guys won fair and square, and there's a reason the universe chose you guys to have these particular crystals at this particular time. So passing them off to someone else may not do them as much good as it's going to do you. So, Miss KC, you won the lapis and quartz palm stone that is coming from Miss Paranormal Pixie. Okay. If it's okay with you, I'll give her your address. Just let me know after stream. I know you're listening. And if that's not okay and you would just rather I had it, I could just have her send it to me and I'll pass it along to you. I'm also including a spray in all 3 of the winners' boxes. As for the golden obsidian, yes, New England Dirt Roadie. I believe it's like blackish brown, Arisha. I thought I ordered brown, but it turned out to be black. The golden obsidian palm stone, energetically cleansed, cleared, and charged by me, is going to Miss Batmom. All right. And she did win a secondary prize last time, but because it's a numbers game, I really, and it was only a secondary prize anyway. And then Long Island Bigfoot, you won this Druseed Sphalerite obelisk.
That thing's cool. I like that one.
And this will also be energetically cleansed, cleared, and charged by me. So I will get those out to you guys this week for sure. And then Mike, who won the gift box. Yay, you guys are welcome. Thank you, Miss Arisha. I just wish we could do something about this right here, but I'm sure I can figure out a way. Yeah, so Mike, who won the gift box, I'm going to need his address info. Slow motion, ask the cards, please. I've been living alone for 15 years. And mind my neighbor's dogs when they go on holiday. Oh, you are so from Ireland. It would mean I have to take care of somebody other than me on a permanent basis. I don't see why it would be a bad idea, but I definitely will. methyl sulfonyl methane. And Long Island Bigfoot, thank you so much for that $5 super sticker. I definitely appreciate donations, guys, in any form. Yes, and it, doesn't he? I was caught off guard by it, not because he ever looks bad, but because he's been going through a lot. So where he used to wear the suits and stuff, he's like more dressed down, and he hadn't got a haircut in a while. And I was like, there's a whole human underneath all that hair.
Should have stayed the dragon.
What's up, girl? Scout Inquirer, greetings and love from New York. It's been a while. Hi, Gemma Jade. I love your hair. Thank you. Just popping in to say hi and to send some love. And oops, didn't mean to do that. And emojis. I will be listening. Hi to everyone in chat. Hello. It's good to see you too. Thank you so much for stopping in and showing some love. I definitely appreciate it. I'm feeling the love, guys. I am feeling the love. So what I'm going to do really quickly, so I don't have to stop readings in the middle, is I am going to go and use the potty, take my hair off, because like I said, I was just kind of testing it out to see what you guys thought. And then I'll come back and we can really get down to business here. Okay. Yeah, Arisha, I agree. She said men look amazing in suits. That's what I love when a man wears a suit. Wiggly, giggly, wiggy. Guys, don't forget, and if you're new here, you may not know, if you feel like you're not going to be able to stay for the whole reading, or if you think that you might not be able to wait a while for your reading, because sometimes they can go up to like 5 minutes for one reading. They usually don't. But my rambling and all that, like if you're from like Slow Motions from Ireland, so it's 5 hours later there than it is here. So if you feel like you're going to have to leave, or if you get called away for any reason, let us know, and we'll try our best to bump you up or give you a timestamp. Okay. As soon as I get back, which will be less than 3 minutes, we will start the show. Because if I don't use the little girl's room now, I'm going to have to stop in the middle of readings, and I hate doing that. So I'll be right back.
Go.
I stepped on something. I don't know what that was.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? It's all right. I'm used to it. Yeah, it'd been a while, so I figured I'd look decent for tonight. I'll start up again now that I'm all cleaned up. Everything's almost back to normal. Almost. So how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's good. Saw a lot of you in earlier this afternoon in Anthony's stream. Yeah. I told I should have wore a black tie. So you do the shades. There you go. Now we're talking. But yeah, I felt good today. I figured, well, it's time to get back to the suits and ties. Went out and picked out some new shirts, and I may look at some more ties, even though I got a ton of them. It was from all the years of restaurant work. But everybody good. That's good. I have a funny feeling as the night goes long, it's going to get real busy. Can I ask how does everyone type out the really long names? Hey, if you type in a name, and if they're in the chat, a little box, as you type about the first 2 or 3 letters, a box should pop up in your YouTube. You just click it. Sometimes it'll give you a list of names, and you just look for the person we are doing good. I'm good. I'm in a good spirits today. It was a good day. Body's still giving me grief, but that's typical of this man. Johnny Cash. I don't know about Johnny Cash. I wouldn't mind being. Well, I don't know if I'd be Johnny Cash. Do you like Johnny Cash?
You could totally.
If I can only sing like Johnny. What?
I said you could be Johnny Cash. Why not?
Well, I just can't sing like him. That's all I'm saying.
Johnny Cash couldn't really sing that well. So. He was talented at playing music and writing music, but singing.
She even rambles in the background.
I'm not in the bathroom. I'm putting earrings
I said in the background.
Brah?
The background.
Brah?
The.
That's RJ's new thing.
The.
He saw the wig the other day, the long gray one that I wore on Monday with the really bad part, and he was like, yo, bruh, that's so cool.
Bruh.
I'm like, you're 5 and you go to a private school. what is going on here? Like,
I don't know. Private schools are pretty rough too.
it's only a private preschool. It's not that fancy,
Yeah.
okay?
Well,
All right.
yeah. Well, it's
So,
Jersey, so they're probably teaching them how to make shanks already.
Yeah. Paranormal Highway. Yes, Ghostdragonzw. I told you. All right, let's start with Miss Arisha, and I am going to use Ether Creatures, even though I boycotted this deck for a little while because I don't like Swan Teal. I think she's a fake, a phony, and a fraud. That is my opinion. But this is a great deck. And as I shuffle, you got the Goblin, honey. The Goblin. Ooh, you got him in the upright. And guys, I'm doing readings for the month of September for half price because I promised summer readings. And I know September's not summer, but you'll be purchasing it in the summer. So I figured out a way to make it go just a little bit longer for you guys because I know you're digging the $20 readings. Don't forget that goes to PayPal or Cash App. $20 under the title or heading of reading. Anyone that I missed that came in, I'm sorry if I didn't say hi. You know I love you. All right. Miss Arisha, work ethic, motivation, treasure, and excellence. Goblins have graced human awareness for centuries. Folklore, especially from European culture, is full of accounts of them. Goblins are humanoid beings related most closely to the gnome race. Most stand about 4 feet tall and have greenish skin and sharp teeth. It is Dobby, right? I never knew if he was a goblin or not. But that is definitely, that's like Dobby's goofball cousin, I guess that would be. Their hands and feet are disproportionately large when compared to their bodies, and many people would describe their features as ugly or even grotesque. Because of the fact that they are humanoid, people can tell that their appearance varies greatly from one to the next. This means that it is easy to tell one individual goblin apart from the next. For some reason, goblins have developed a reputation for being stupid. This is completely inaccurate. They are extremely intelligent. In particular, they are keen observers of what others tend to miss. Goblins spend the majority of their time underground or indoors. They are hypersensitive to light. They have a very special relationship to the mineral kingdom, which includes metals, and this makes them adept at working with rocks or metals of any kind. Goblins are workers, to say the least. If they are not sleeping, which they rarely do, they are tirelessly working away at a task. The idea of retirement does not exist to a goblin. They are also hoarders, especially when it comes to objects they consider to be treasures. Although it's easy to generalize, the character and temperament of goblins varies greatly from one to the next, just like with humans. This is one reason why the folklore that exists is so incredibly contradictory and conflicting as far as accounts of goblin behavior goes. However, one thing is for sure, they all tend to be short-tempered. I'm not going to say that Teal Swan or whoever wrote this down didn't do their research on goblins before they wrote it, but they didn't do their research on goblins. I have a whole chapter. It's called Low Goblin on the Totem Pole or Low Fae on the Totem Pole, and it's about goblins in my Fae book. A lot of the information is accurate, but it doesn't matter here nor there because we are here for you, Miss Arisha. And definitely what stood out to me was you seeing things that others are missing and you being able to step in for someone and be like, listen, did you ever think of it this way? And putting some seed into their head or better explaining something to them in a way that they can better understand when they're really struggling. And I do feel like this could have to do with Tennille. It could really have to do with anyone, but for some reason, as I'm saying this, I'm seeing you two together and you're holding hands, which the way my team shows me people like when a card is about someone else, they'll be holding the hand of the other person, communicating, passing thoughts back and forth. Okay, one helping the other. This is you helping her or possibly someone else. Helping them see something from a different perspective or helping them see something that they were not seeing before. Also, I would say that the universe is also commending you for all of the hard work you're putting in, all of the effort and time you're putting into not only your own project, but other people's, like, I don't know, mine, the merch project and everything that you're doing there. And The universe is also saying, though, you know, it's funny. Like, the reason they're so short-tempered is because they don't believe in retirement, and they work really hard, and they don't believe in rest and relaxation, which that's not the reason. The reason is they hate humans. But think about that. You know, if you're starting to feel physically sick, ill, worn down, you know, and you do this, you do take breaks when you need to and rest when you need to. I feel like you could be at risk in the next week or two for, once again, kind of overworking yourself. And the universe wants you to look out for that, because it could lead to something that maybe like a physical illness that's maybe you're not so quick to get rid of by taking a couple of days off. And it's like, if you don't take those couple of days off now, when you start to feel worn out, overwhelmed, overworked, it could turn into something that you're going to have to take like a month off. You know, it's like, nip it in the bud now, and don't procrastinate when it comes to your health, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or psychic. Okay. All of your 5 healths, keep them balanced and in order. Take breaks when you need to. Say no when you feel like you may have taken on too much. And it's okay to tell someone, like, listen, I thought I was going to be able to do that, but I'm actually not. And someone could be disappointed with you, and that's okay. But if someone's going to completely break the friendship because you weren't able to follow through with something because you're overwhelmed and you're unable to do it, you might want to rethink that relationship anyway. That's right. Ooh.
Boom.
I got a new ring, guys, too. I bought it for myself. I can buy myself flowers. It's the infinity with a heart. It's not real or anything, but I thought it was pretty. I thought this was full, and I picked it up, and it's like the one that I already drank. And I'm like, what is going on?
Well, hello, Mark. How are you?
Hello, Mark. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just got your money for the personal, so do not worry. You are on my list. Who is next? Miss Tennille is next.
Yes. Do I need to do you a timestamp for her? I haven't seen her. I've seen Sissy, but not her.
Why don't you write it down just in case?
Sounds good.
Yeah, because I know she was here. So, Lotus Girl, I'm going to use the Divine Circus. Mark, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in, and everyone else who's new, and everyone else. Thank you, everyone, for spending this time with me tonight, with us tonight. I keep seeing hi, Cindy, and I'm like, who is Cindy? Oh, Mama Cindy.
Hey, Vera.
Reminded her. Hi, Miss Vera. Driving to Mow Yard. If you can fit me in 30 minutes, hold it until last. Can't fit you in. I mean, really, it's up to you, honey. If you want us to fit you in, I could just do you next quickly and knock it out of the way since you're going to work.
She's the boss.
We're good. We're just getting started. So, yeah, the Divine Circus. Some of these have really awesome names. Silver Siren, Miss Lotus Girl. Okay. I feel like I had to burp. That's what that was. Send her a text. Okay, well, we'll timestamp it for her just in case she doesn't get back.
That's fine.
Lotus Girl. The modern world, perhaps especially in the spiritual field, is laden with false light. This is the light that blinds and obscures rather than clarifies and reveals. False light is that which might seem dazzling on the surface, but underneath is nothing but hot air at best and destructive energy that will rot your soul at worst. False light is the opportunity so intoxicating that even selling your soul to have it seems rational, or the person so alluring that you are willing to deny your basic needs for respect and acknowledgement in order to spend even just one moment with them. The false light is a seduction, a siren song, a promise of whatever it is you feel you cannot have unless you compromise your integrity to get it. There is just one lesson to be learned through the siren song, the same lesson always, no matter what the circumstances may be. If you compromise your integrity, you will find that what you have obtained was not worth the price you paid for it. No matter how much you believed it would be otherwise, it simply will not end up being worthwhile. Silver Siren... Guys, I have a lisp I've been trying to outgrow since I was a little girl, and it's been coming back a lot lately, so bear with me. Silver Siren comes to you when you are one of the souls with enough discernment, strength, and integrity to be able to say no to the enchantment that will not enhance your life, but slowly and surely destroy it. The small compromise of your self-esteem would seem innocuous enough at first, but with cajoling and manipulation would continue and eventually erode at your soul until you no longer believed yourself capable of living your best life, of receiving genuine love and affection, of having anything of value to share with the world. To disempower the false light, you must stay true to what your heart says. No matter how much you may fear you'll regret it later on, simply say no to that which is unworthy of you, to that which does not hold the truth of love within. Even if by all appearances a person declares they are utterly enlightened and only interested in your highest good, even if the opportunity at hand is a quote-unquote too good to miss one, making your mind needy and confused when what you feel in your heart is that you really should give it a miss, simply say no. When Silver Siren sings her song to you, know that you are being given an opportunity for empowerment, Lotus Girl. This is an opportunity to trust yourself and stand firm in your own truths and to experience the priceless sense of love, safety, security, peace, and self-possession that brings. With this, your soul can sing its own song, a song that shares true light, the lightness of a heart that lives in peaceful truth with the world. So, Tennille, some of this has to do with a decision you made recently that was a bit heavy on your heart. Even though you knew it was the right thing to do, you were having some conflict about actually doing it. And this is how you know Tennille's such an amazing person too, is because I'm not going to get personal as to what this was, but she knew something about somebody that they had done that was so incredibly horrible, it would be unmentionable on YouTube. And she decided to speak up about it. But she stopped herself for like a day because she was worried that the reason she was doing or saying something about it was out of revenge to this person for something they'd recently done to her. And I really had to tell her, like, listen, your team says it is the right decision, no matter why you decided it. And just the fact that you're willing to question your own integrity because you know that you may have something to gain, meaning, a little bit of joy at watching this person finally go down after everything they've done to you. That's really saying something about your character, Tennille. It really is. You had to stop and ask yourself, like, am I doing this for the right reasons? And I admire you so much for that. This card is saying, though, that you're going to know when something that's too good to be true is, and you're going to know when to say no to a manipulative person. You're going to basically have this really amazing run with your intuition, especially in the next week or two. It's the afterthoughts that are going to be getting in the way. Did I make the right decision? Constantly asking yourself, why did I do that? Why didn't I take that up? Why didn't I take a risk? Because it's not really taking a risk. It's a guaranteed loss. Okay, it just sounds really pretty. You can have this $1 million, but you have to, I don't know, think of the worst thing in your life that you could possibly be forced to do. And you're like, well, that's only hurting me. Give me the $1 million, but you actually are hurting yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? So if something doesn't feel right to you, if you flat out know something's wrong, first of all, speak up, say something. And honestly, just say no. And I mean that, of course, facetiously, but I do feel like there are going to be some manipulative people possibly coming in the form of avengers or of this person that you recently finally spoke up about, or this person themselves sending these people to kind of get close to you and then blow poop up. Okay, so be really careful of new people coming into your life in the next week or two, of new people who recently came into your life in the past week or two, and really try to find that balance of, not being paranoid, but definitely calling a spade a spade. Hi, Vicky. Another first timer. Woo! Miss Vera Ray. Another first timer. I'm loving it. So I have Long Island Bigfoot and Paranormal Highway to thank for that one. Pine Island Research, hi. No, he just felt like being fancy. He said, did Ghost have a court date today? Because you're wearing a suit.
Well, you know, if Brown Dwarf would show up, he thinks I'm his lawyer.
Vera,
hello, Ron. How you doing, sir?
I am using for the love of dragons. Chillin' Charlie and anyone else that I missed and didn't say hi to, it was, not on purpose. Okay, so Miss Vera Ray, you got the fairy tale list. And Miss Veach, if you are listening, please come in. I know that we accidentally missed you last week, but I did offer you in the community tab a free reading for September because we accidentally skipped you after I promised you that wasn't going to happen. Just worked out that way. So if you're listening, I hope that you'll come in and you won't hold it against us permanently. Eris Mana. All right, Vera. Oop, I was on the wrong one. I was on the brat. Einstein once said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Now is the time to let yourself sink into the wonder and imagination of a good tale. Also, it's time to remember that your life is a fairy tale. As a myth maker, it's your job to remember that impossible things happen every day. And that's once upon a time is really here and now. Vera, there's power in your true life fairy tale. Live your tale today so magically that even the dragons have a hard time believing it's true. So, Roger Blair, what's up? Yeah, Vera Ray, I feel like, after a long time of maybe inner turmoil, inner conflict, inner struggle, I'm really seeing things. That song, Everything's Coming Up Roses, is playing over. The way my team shows me things, okay, is playing in my head. But it's kind of like this turn in the energy around you, but I don't think it's the actual energy, honey. I think it's what you're making of it. So your mind frame, glass half full type of thinking, as opposed to glass half empty, right? For lack of better terms, because I hate when people say those things. Vera, I feel like the next week or two are going to be very fortuitous for you, for opportunities of blessing and abundance, and also your manifestation, your powers to manifest in the next week or two are significantly greater than I think I might have ever seen them when reading for you in the past, 2.5 years. I mean, you've been with me for a long time. It's like you have the power to get anything that you want, that you're trying to manifest immediately, but you have to believe in the fairy tale, right? You have to believe that it is possible to get everything that you want simply by trying to get it, right? By manifesting it. I feel like your frame of mind and how you're looking at things, okay, not really perceiving them, well, perceiving too, but how you're looking at things is really going to have a major impact on how the next week or two of your life goes, on how much abundance and blessing comes in, okay, of how many good times you have compared to bad times, of how many things work out for you as opposed to things that don't work out. And all that matters in the next week or two, honey, I promise you, is whether or not you have faith that the universe will provide. If you're trying to manifest something, if you have been trying to manifest something for a long time, please don't stop. The next week or two, perfect opportunity for you to tell the universe what you're grateful for, acting as if you have whatever it is. I am so grateful I never have to worry about money again because I'm a millionaire. This Netflix show, or this show on the Travel Channel, has done wonders for my life. I can't believe it. That would be me manifesting, my biggest dreams and my accomplishments and goals. But at the end of the day, I have to believe that I'm capable of handling those things, that I'm capable of having those things, and that the right people and opportunities will present themselves to me so I can access those things. And it's the same for you. All right. This is a really great card.
I thought we went and lost there for a minute. I was buffering. I lost everybody but your voice. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and do the new people real quick? I know.
Well, not all in a row, but let's start with the first one that was here.
Now, Val, is she new?
Val was the first.
Let's do her next. And I'll fit them in as we go every
3 or 4, because we don't like to make the people that are in here for the first time wait.
Yeah.
We want you guys to see what the readings are all about, because that's the main reason that we're here. So Arisha, you are my hero. Okay. So I thought I worked nonstop. This chick works double the amount that I do. And like actually has things to show for it. Whereas me at the end of like a 12-hour workday, like, yes, I've done a lot. I've accomplished a lot. But when I look back on like everything I could have done, had I not gotten caught up for an hour watching YouTube shorts about like Justin Bieber, or had I not, dilly-dallied, and I don't even know like what I do. I don't even know where my time goes, could be doing better. So let's do Val, and I'm going to use the Oracle of the Shapeshifter for you. Yes. I want to say yes, ma'am, but I don't know if you identify in the feminine or masculine. And just because I'm seeing feminine energy doesn't necessarily mean you are a woman. So please don't get offended. And I'm not talking about a binary. I'm talking about energy. So work yourself ragged like I did. I'm paying for it. Oh, yeah. Nah. Blue Crossroads, you will be next, sir. You are so welcome. Guys, you are all like, I owe everything to you guys, because if you didn't show up and you didn't, come in and see what my channel is about, and if it weren't for you, it would just be me and Ghost Dragons here by ourselves. So thank you, honestly.
No, thank you, because then I'd have to listen to a ramble and I wouldn't get a word in.
Some of you guys have been with me for years and with us since Steven started. She said, I mean it. Listen to an old broad. I only plan on working this hard, like working myself into the ground, until I get enough money to open the spiritual retreat. Vera Ray said, okay, got it. Thank you. I've been saying it is what it is. Love y'all. Oh gosh, y'all should see this big old yard off the brush hog. LOL. I will be listening. Off to brush hog. You go and have fun, honey. Be careful. Yeah, Ted Branston.
Hey, Ted. How you doing?
Now I'm like, oh, I should have left the wig in. Do you see how I am as a human being? Loretta Lynn's Ranch Hurricane Mills is exit. Is that the haunted one that she grew up in? Sasquatch Confessions, welcome back. Well, Long Island Bigfoot, I think it was about 2 years ago, or at some point, sometime last year, I believe. I randomly I was wearing a blonde wig with black tips, but it just looked super wiggy. So I randomly got this download that was like, your mission here is to start a spiritual retreat by the beach within the next 10 years. That's all I was told. But it made perfect sense for where I was in my life at that time and where my career has, gone to since then. And now it's become my ultimate goal, my ultimate dream. And I've promised several gemstones a job and permanent residence there. So you can, I've got so many new wigs, Ted. You've got to see them all. You will see them all, actually, because I'm probably going to wear the purple one in the video. Okay, enough talk. Val, Dragonfly Mermaid, you've attracted wonderful news, card number 19. And don't forget, everyone, even if I'm not reading specifically for you, if any of the messages resonate with you, even if it's one sentence of a message, please take that as part of your message as well. About Dragonfly Mermaid. Dragonfly Mermaid is coming forward to be with you for a time. She will show you what colors and what moods will be best for you at present. In doing so, you make a change that all can see, and that will make you very attractive to something that will come as a surprise. By matching the energy of that which you will attract before it has come near you, which is exactly what I was just saying to Vera, you will send out a message to the universe, and the good fortune that has been looking for a home will be drawn to you. Dragonflies love their blessings, and dragonflies leave their blessings with those who treasure them. So you are about to receive their gifts because you know you are a joyful, blissful, bright, and beautiful recipient. Dragonfly Mermaid speaks. You are about to receive good news quite out of the blue. Val, this message has truly a touch of magic about it, and once it arrives, you will feel yourself glowing with happiness, health, and the satisfaction of great good fortune. It is something that comes to you via a dragonfly magical companion, so when you see me, know that the news is near. Also know that these tidings contain brightness and shimmering rainbow colors, bringing joy not just to you, but to many others as well. This is blissful change, the kind that feels like pure luck. But again, remember that you drew it to you by shifting and changing the way that you are. Your newfound brightness and optimism make you very attractive to this piece of good fortune, so it has now found you. Divination, there will be a bright piece of beautiful luck, shining and golden and full of vibrancy. It will offer you energy, confirmation, and validation, and is a blessing from the universe. It's not a reward for your changes, but know that it is utterly connected to the strivings you have made to drop judgment, ego, and other harmful feelings and habits. And as a result, you too are glowing with beauty. Expect more and more beauty to find you. There will be fresh challenges along the way, sure, but magic is all around you, and your auric field and life force themselves are highly attractive to wonderful events, people, and possibilities right now. Stay on course. All is working beautifully. Val, changing the clothes and the colors you wear and including pleasant, sacred objects in your environment will change your energy and attract more of the same. Unidentified S4. What's up, y'all? So, okay. For those of you who didn't see it, my Skeletor rhodonite and my red jasper feather. All right. Now, obviously, there's some good news coming in, right? But I feel like it's more than good news, right? I'm sorry. Long Island Bigfoot and Unidentified. Did you guys see what I tagged you on Facebook? Just because I see you both together in here. Okay, Val. So it's more than just that, though. The universe wants you to acknowledge why. I'm not done yet. The universe wants you to acknowledge why all of this is coming to you. And it's nothing less and nothing short of the work you've been putting in. Now, if you're like, Gemma, I don't know what you're talking about, I haven't been working on myself, I would find that very hard to believe. And I would ask you to reconsider and kind of think, such a flake, not you, Val, and kind of rethink that, because there has to be some sort of major effort you've been putting into something. So the book said, dropping judgment and not thinking coming from a place of ego, right? It could be those things, but I feel like you've just finally maybe stopped worrying about something, like for example, just say, you've been having a lot of issues keeping your finances in order or paying your bills or something. And finally you're like, you know what? I'm just not going to worry about it. And that doesn't mean like, I'm just not going to pay my bills and I'm going to be, shirk my responsibilities. No, it means I'm not going to worry about it because I know that the universe or God or whoever you believe created this, is going to take care of me. And to actually say that out loud and believe it. And I feel like somewhere along the way, especially very recently, you've had some thoughts along those lines. And if you don't, if you're like, no, I actually haven't, I believe that you have, but it's more subconscious and coming into practice and play right now. So look for the dragonfly. If you see a dragonfly somewhere, then you will certainly know that your good news has arrived, right? So I would look around in like the next few hours waiting for the phone call, the email, the text, the visit, whatever it is. But know that, just like I said to Vera, and it's crazy how connected these two cards are, know that you're the one in control of when this news comes to you. When this comes to you, why, how, where, and for how long it stays, because it's your ability and power to manifest it, to act as if, to fake it until you make it. If there's something you want, walk around as though you have it. I read a quote recently that said, if you have to go through hell, walk through as if you own the place. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Okay. You are the master of your own destiny, not to sound cheesy or cliche. It's just a simple fact.
Not going to tell.
Some really good stuff coming in for you. That is an amazing card that does not get drawn often.
That's a great card. Okay. You have to leave soon, Vicky. Can you let me do blue? And then we'll do you. And then we'll do Andrew. Then we'll do Long Island. Then we'll do Sasquatch. I'm fitting them all in.
All right. So we're going to do blue Crossroads, then you, Vicky. Right. Cuzzo, let me know if you want me to do a timestamp for you. All right. I love you. Good. That's the perfect attitude. I'm ready for it. Bring it. All right. Blue Crossroads. I have an old deck here that I haven't used in a while. And guys, yeah, I do talk a lot. A lot of it is because I don't see you guys all week, and also because we have a few hours. So you're very welcome. You know, we would do that for any one of y'all. So I've got the Oracle of Souls here, Blue Crossroads. And I know I haven't used these much. So, and I know I haven't, used them at all in like the last year. So. Blue Crossroads, the legend. Mother of Dawn, the emissary. I have no idea what these cards are really. Beauty, agency, and compassion. Did you guys know Morgan Le Fay? We talk about her a lot. Not the Morgan. Morgan Le Fay was King Arthur's half-sister. I didn't know that until like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Robert Haywood Jr., I got you. Just come back after the stream is over and look in the comments, and you'll see at what time we did your reading. Because we do those timestamps towards the end. All right, how am I supposed to know? Okay, so these are in no particular order. So
great.
Atonement, Return, Abraham, the Justice, the Traveler, the Exile, the Thinker, the Maestro. Sorry, guys, I'm looking. Oh, there she is. Mother of Dawn. Do I have to cover this up? No, she's covered. Once a mortal woman of legendary beauty, the Mother of Dawn now represents the populace of Hades, communicating their interest to the powers of the realm. In life, her beauty was used as a prize to be granted to others for their deeds and valor, irrespective of her own wishes. In death, she is free of these constraints and chooses to exercise the agency that she was denied in life of service to others. The Mother of Dawn illuminates the path of compassion and kindness, demonstrating that the difference between service and servitude is the power to choose. It is in this power and ensuring that it is available to all that true beauty is found. Domains, beauty, agency, and compassion. Yeah, I feel like Blue Crossroads, you got to make sure in the next few weeks not to become a sucker for a lost cause. So I kept hearing that as I was reading this, and I was like, what does this even mean? Like, if I were only reading from the book, I would have no idea what this book was talking about. And this is probably why I stopped reading. I stopped using these cards for over a year. I feel like there is someone possibly from your past that's going to come back in because you are the go-to guy, right? You're that guy that when everything goes to poop in my life, and I don't mean me, I mean, this is what this person is thinking. I can just call Blue Crossroads. He'll come a running. It's definitely that kind of energy. And if that's not the exact specific situation, I would say that maybe it's someone you're about to meet that definitely gets the wrong idea about you, looking at you like you're weak or like you're a mark or some kind of sucker. Be very careful who you open up to. I would say in the next week or two, first of all, don't even get involved or bothered with anyone from your past right now. If it was ever like a romantic thing, I guess, or if there was an expectation of that at any point, if any romantic feel, like just for the next week or two. I'm not saying never talk to anyone from your past that you had romantic feelings for, but in the next week or two, I would steer clear of it because I feel like someone is trying to pull you in just to get like supply out of you. They're not really a narcissist, but they're trying to get their ego fed because you're going to run to them when the person they're with treats them like crap. And I think you and I both know who this might be. But of course, I'm not going to put them on blast on YouTube. But I would also say be very careful to who you open up to. So, you know, I know you have very few that you trust. And I love being one of less than a handful in your inner circle that you tell most things to. Or at least I think I am. Definitely don't open up even about the smallest thing to anyone new in the next week or two, because I feel like there is someone, I don't think they realize they're doing it like at the time that they're doing it. So while you're opening up to them, they have no ulterior motive, but then they're going to start thinking of ways to like use what you said against you or try to use it to mirror yourself back to you. You've got some really manipulative people in your orbit, but they're not like in your immediate orbit. They're like in your past, and they're also, you know, coming in there. I see them kind of circling and seeing if like you're the right guy to try this stuff on. And I laugh because you're definitely not the one. But they don't know that. And they might end up penetrating or hitting a soft spot of yours. So just keep yourself a little bit more guarded than normal when it comes to people, specifically those of the opposite sex, in the next week or two, just kind of coming in out of the clear blue sky and, you know, maybe opening up a little bit too soon. Divine Empathic Tarot, nut slap. Guys, Gemma Jade glow in the dark tumblers with plastic straw, Ghost Dragons tumbler with plastic straw, all merch, all of it available at jivecreations.com. All right. Who was the
Vicky? We're gonna do Vicky
okay.
because she was gonna leave.
Yep. No. You don't have to explain to me. I just forgot the name.
No, you're not allowed.
Okay. I don't know. That would have been a hair flip if my hair was down. Gemma Jade, he was also Merlin's student and trapped him inside the dragon. Wow. Vicky, you're very welcome. You got the dragon one? It really glows in the dark. Yeah, I've been keeping mine on my windowsill because I drink from it at night. And today I was bringing it downstairs to wash it, and my hallway outside of my bedroom is like super dark. And RJ's like, oh my gosh, it's glowing. And I was like, oh my God. And it doesn't, mine doesn't glow like the normal green glow in the dark color. Mine glows like red, purple. Like It glows a few different colors. Yeah. It's not like the regular green glow in the dark. It was like, unless it just looked that way because of the color of but it looked like red and purple. Oh, wow. Grandma Gray hair flip is dangerous. You could break a hip.
You noticed she kept her head stiff the whole time. I know if she would have leaned forward or flipped it too hard, it would have gone flying.
I am buzzing in a good way. I always am on Wednesday nights. I just
favorite night.
You guys make me feel good. And you got to remember too, I may be actually buzzing a little bit from source because I'm like tapped into actual love, spirit energy, and you can't help but feel good. All right, Miss Vicky, I am using the Angels of Atlantis. Luckily, I don't have the Granny Gray wig in this time. I have another gray one, though, that has, like, I think it's brown tips. It looks really pretty, but it's super straight. Oh, wow. You got the Archangel Michael, the card of patience. I haven't used these in a while either. Metatron. Michael. Michael asks you to remember the magic of your life by connecting with the path of the enchanted. Is magic missing from your life, or are you aware of a lack of imagination in your creative pursuits? Allow the divine joy of the child within you to reconnect with the free flow fun that was once present in your innocence. This is a doorway to the numinous. With this card, the unicorn's magical horn touches your soul with the love of its perspicacity, compelling, eternal, and especially wise about that divine light within you. When it shines, the charisma of your soul magnetizes all people to you. Chant he through your crown chakra to resonate with the higher frequencies of enchantment. This card reminds you that the throne of your spiritual sovereignty is awaiting you and that you have all the power of the creator within you. When we discover our soul's purpose, and allow ourselves to be initiated into the world as a spiritual seeker, we are often disregarded by others simply because the divine can be missing from other people's lives. Michael wishes you to sit on the throne of your own true power in the universal wisdom of the one mind, the I am presence. This is the moment when divine compassion moves through you and alerts you to the fact that what you see without is also within. The oracular wisdom of Michael reminds you of the great master alchemist, the god Thoth. This priest wizard has been seen through the millennia working intimately with the magic of Archangel Michael. Therefore, drawing this card means you are moving through a rapid period of spiritual growth and are reminded of the need to employ the art of alchemy. Attempt to turn your base metal into gold, turning the negatives that come from your shadow into positivity, and ultimately ascending into heaven for the supernatural treasure, love. Michael's oracle suggests that you have been rushing to create or to make something manifest. Work to allow, dear one. Then you will truly see patience as an active force in the time distance between visualization and manifestation. Vicky, meditate on stillness so that you may consider your desire without attachment. Contemplate the splendor of the 3 great pyramids of Giza that took a large number of years to build, yet no one ever doubted that eventually they would stand. Indeed, they have stood for the last 4,500 years. Remember that 3 is the number behind all manifestation, and this is the principal virtue of Michael's teaching. Ponder on this in stillness and silence. So definitely a lot of good things coming in for you, but I feel like what the universe is saying is you've really got to work on, number 1, your patience, but number 2, and this is like, you're like the 3rd person already tonight out of like 6 readings that I have to say this to, your belief. That doesn't mean you have to believe in God. That doesn't mean you even have to believe that there's an Archangel Michael, right? But you have to believe in yourself. Like, believe in yourself. I don't mean it like that. The spark of divinity that's inside of you, and how you can turn that spark on through meditation, through sitting quietly, or through speaking out loud to the universe what it is you are trying to attract and what you're trying to repel and what you're trying to get rid of. Really being focused on your spiritual journey as part of your physical manifestation. So I think there's coming a time in your life, if it hasn't started already, where you're starting to understand that spirituality has a lot more to do with your life as you know it than you originally thought, right? So if you're not spiritually aligned, if you're not spiritually aware, then you're probably not going to do much on your divine path. The contract that you wrote and signed in the 5th dimension before you decided to come here, of things that you will accomplish, things that you'll experience. Vicky, I would definitely say don't let anyone in the next week or 2 or ever, but I do feel like it could be happening a little bit more than usual in the next week or 2, or it was just happening a lot more than usual like this week, because I see it like very, very present and in the recent future. So somebody telling you that like you're being ridiculous, you know, and I always use my own life as an example. That would be like someone saying to me, like, do you know how much spiritual retreats cost to build? Like,
Sorry, fix it.
do you know how much spiritual retreats cost to build? You're never going to accomplish that in 10 years. Or why would anyone give you your own show? Why would anyone invite you onto it? Like that type of energy where like you're feeling good about your goals, you're feeling ambitious, you're feeling powerful. And then there comes that person. But you have to understand they're projecting. They're projecting what they haven't accomplished, what they haven't been able to achieve. It has nothing to do with you. So please do everything you can to shut those people out. Don't listen to them. And instead, listen to that spark of the divine that's inside of you. Take advice from spirit by listening in silence to thoughts that come into your mind that you're not thinking, right? That's how spirit gets to us. They implant downloads. They implant thoughts. Men's tank top. Who was that? Is that Veach in here?
Yes, and I told her she'd be right after Ann Ed. Unless you want to go ahead and do her now.
No, that's not what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
Veach, I did post in the, sorry, my ear itches. I did post in the community tab that I felt really bad about missing you last week. So what I'm going to do is give you a free personal for September, but I need your email address. You hit this right. It's not me, it's your spirit team, and I'm the messenger, but thank you for the validation. And I'm sorry, Anna, you said?
No, the next person is Andrew, then Long Island, then Sasquatch Confessions.
But we're going to do Veach, you just said.
Well, and then Ann, then Beach. Because I was trying to keep the order for people who was waiting. Because
because you said...
You're good, you're good.
You said after Aunt Edna, so I thought Aunt Edna was next.
No.
So who is next?
Andrew.
Nomeo. All right.
Island, then Sasquatch, then Aunt Edna, then Beach.
Oh, men's tank tops, really?
I think they were trying to avoid calling it the other thing.
What? Oh, a beater. Oh, thank you, Ted. Yeah, I felt really bad because when I listened, I noticed that I told her multiple times, like, it's very rare that Steven ever misses anyone.
Yeah, I try not to.
Val SWPA says it's great listening to messages for everyone, so uplifting. Yeah, and you know, you're so welcome, Vicky. And people have said that to me. They're like, you know, everything's so upbeat, but I also used to get criticized for giving like not so upbeat messages, which I still do. But here's the thing. If the person that's giving you a reading never has a negative message ever, that probably means they're not actually channeling, because spirit will never give you a negative message without also giving you a positive, right? Spirit never just gives me these terrible messages for people. It's always followed by something positive, because spirit, your team they love you. They want the best for you. They're not trying to, you know, bring you down. They're trying to course correct if necessary from whatever the bad stuff is, or the bad stuff, right? There is really no good or bad. It's objective, but you're so welcome, Veach. What's up, Jarvis? Yeah, that name makes me giggle too. A college course correct. A bachelor's. It's a baby Gia. I keep hearing that in my head ever since Friday night. All right. Having too much fun. I gotta focus. All right, Nomio, let's see. Outsider, misfit, loner, wanderer. Card number 22. Nomio, and yet the distance between you and others gives you a unique and valuable perspective. You, like us, feel estranged from the human world at the moment we find you with this card. It is as if a glass separates you from others and their world. You look at the lives of others, and there is a sense of mild regret at how distant it all seems. You feel unable to find the true meaning in anyone else's experience, and you cannot relate to what so many people care about. You do not care who wins the latest reality TV show. You do not know what it is you will do for the rest of your human days. You do not understand why so many people wish to be esteemed for their clothing or their cars or the title of their job. You cannot express these feelings to most people, and if you are blessed, as we so rarely are for fleeting moments, with a true sense of companionship, the loneliness, the isolation, and the sense of having no home ends for just a little while. But for now, you feel an outsider, looking ever inwards, but not feeling a part of any community or group or even any family. At this time, strange as it can be, disorienting as it can be, you are wondering about your humanness, if indeed you really belong to this great, thriving, greedy, enormous, wise, and childish family called the human race. This estrangement is current, but it's not eternal. Still, there will always be something of the orphan child about you, even if you have never suffered the abandonment so many have. You simply are different, Nomio, and you have to find your own kind. And the truth is that when you do find your own kind, you and they may only be able to be with each other in unusual, unconventional, or for shorter lengths of time. Just like in this stream. We have found our soul family. Blessing, you have been given the opportunity to find your own way and to see the world from a unique perspective. This will give you great creative, artistic, and spiritual opportunities. Curse, being outside the tribe, searching for home, lack of comfort. Working with this card, accepting the outsider's position for now, you can observe and watch and see and record. This will make you a valuable writer, artist, teacher. Your unique perspective will be greatly valued. So, Andrew, I don't really see you struggling so much with like not knowing where you're going, or like being able to positively express yourself or express yourself in general. I do feel like you could be questioning some things, you know, like the way that the way that it's being shown to me is like you're sitting in like a sea of regret about something. And it may not be right currently in this moment, but in the next week or two, I feel like something is going to trigger this reaction out of you where you're going to maybe become a little bit more than nostalgic for times past, a specific time, a specific person, a specific era in your life, right? And the universe is saying, that's perfectly okay, but understand that those times ended so that they can shape the times that you have now. So if you're dissatisfied with the quality of your life or the quality of something happening in your life, like your job, where you live, your friend group, whatever it may be, you always have the option or opportunity to change it. Don't sit back thinking about like the good old days, because understand that in this present moment, you are creating what will one day be for you the good old days, right? Back in, whenever you think the good old days of your life were, you weren't sitting there thinking, oh, wow, these are going to be the good old days someday, right? You're just living your life. But the universe is saying, if you could be mindful that one day you're going to look at this time in your life, and are you going to consider it the good old days, or are you going to consider it the bad old days that you never want to repeat? It's completely up to you, not only with how you want to look at that, but also to make the changes that you see as necessary for being able to bring more abundance and opportunity into your life. I don't see this as being a necessarily good card, a necessarily bad card. It's somewhere in between. But if you get, it's a warning not to get too hung up on something that's already happened, right? Because we can't go back and change things. I also feel like you could be wondering, maybe a little bit in the next week or two about like, if you're really from here. We talk about that a lot in the streams on this channel and in this channel. A lot of us are not completely from Earth. Like we might be in this lifetime, but our past life, like we don't come from here, and that's why we don't fit in, and that's why we always feel like we're on the outside. The fact of the matter is, you have plenty of time to figure it all out in the next week or two. Do not beat yourself up over something that you can't control, whether it happened in the past, whether it happens today, or whether it's a choice that you're making for your future, right? All decisions have consequences, good and bad, and they all lead us to be greater in one way or another eventually.
Okay, ready? Now, Long Island.
Where? Oh, here it is. Long Island Bigfoot. I am going to use the Fairy Tale Oracle. Oh, thank you, sir, for another beautiful super sticker. Stop.
Ah, dang it. Why did you do that?
You kept with the super sticker on, off, on, off, on, off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now it's that. Like, stop it.
I'm going to go away.
It's all the idiots around us that are off the planet. Yes. It gets jammed. No, something's happening. I don't know. It's been the last couple of weeks where he's been moving everything around.
I pushed a button, and it's like every time I do something, if I'm not paying attention, it will flip it over, and I don't know why it's doing that. It's a new keyboard, so I'm trying to figure out all the bugs.
Thumbelina, the card of expectations. And it is card number 13, lucky 13. Cashew Gesundheit. Hi.
I got it.
Welcome. Another new one from Long Island stream. I gained 67 subscribers from that stream so far. That's the most ever. Even when I did the Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader, I didn't gain that many. So thank you, sir. All right. Long Island Bigfoot. This is a long, complicated, and very sweet-natured tale. I gotta say, though, this is by far my favorite deck. It always has been. It is about yearning to have a child and what we do to bring about fertility. It is very pagan in its values, as a woman who wishes to have a child asks a fairy for help. She receives it in the form of a barley corn, an echo of corn, a symbol used in fertility rites since ancient Greece. She pays the price, she deals honorably with the fairy, and she plants the little barley corn. A massive flower grows in its place, and she is so overwhelmed by its beauty, she kisses it. And the petals open, and within lies her daughter, a tiny being, quote, scarcely as long as her thumb, end quote. So she is named Thumbelina, given a walnut shell for her bed, and she has a beautiful voice, and she sings, the likes of which has never been heard. But her size makes her vulnerable, and she is stolen by a toad who wants Thumbelina for her son's bride. In turn, she is rescued by a school of fishes who feel sorry for her. Thumbelina's fate is constantly being decided by those around her, and in all of this is the quest for where she truly belongs in her home and her true family. In it also is the quest for her true nature. Is she fairy, flower? Is she part human? What is this being, and where in the world does she belong? Finally, Thumbelina begins to make her own way throughout the world. She ties a part of her clothing to a butterfly and flies away. Entering the element of air, she becomes more clever, though she does not lose her compassion. She is told she's ugly and she's abandoned, and at this point, the little sweet being finds herself. She weaves her own bed from grass, and she hangs a leaf to create a roof over her head. She drinks the nectar of flowers, and she makes it through to winter. She cannot care for herself anymore and moves in with a dormouse who introduces her to a mole who, of course, wishes to marry her. But he's blind, and he, quote, spoke slightingly of the sun and the flowers because he had never seen them, end quote. And he cares nothing for the birds, and upon finding one frozen, he pushes it away, caring nothing for its song, scorning it for its failure to stay alive. But Thumbelina carries flowers to the bird and sings songs to it, and then lays her head upon the bird's chest and hears its little heartbeat. So she goes from being powerless and homeless to being strong enough to bring a soul back to life. And for this, she is rewarded with friendship, with home, and with her true family. For she finds fairies to be folk amongst whom she can live. But first, she has discovered so much about herself and her love of the natural world and her love for all wild creatures has given her wisdom. She has earned all the good fortune that comes to her, her home, her country, the beauty and warmth of endless summer, true friends, and great love. She has grown into a woman, tiny as she is, and her good fortune is sung by all of the birds who share this with the storyteller, who too tells her story. For hers is the story of summer, of hope, of compassion, and of the rewards of kind-heartedness and of the independent spirit. Finally, she is gifted her true name by the angel of all the flowers, and her name is Maya, a name she shares with the goddess of spring. This is a tale of empowerment, finding your own way and making your own friendships and relationships. It's time, therefore, for you to learn how to care for yourself, to choose for yourself, and yet not lose your warm heart along the way. The times when you have been ridiculed and rejected for being different will have become a memory, and you will in time find your own true name, the song of your soul. So you are definitely exceeding expectations. And you got to remember, too, that Long Island Bigfoot, people can't value what they know nothing about. Okay. So I feel like you have gotten criticism, and like we've all, especially like in this chat and in this community on my channel, like we've all been bullied. We've all been called nut jobs or lunatics at some point in our life or another. And normally it's happening now as we're growing and learning within the community, right? I feel like what this card is saying is like things that once were maybe burdensome for you, that caused issues, maybe in relationships, maybe, and I'm only using this as an example. I don't know personally. It's just an example. Say you had like this marriage that you thought was incredible, but the person couldn't handle the fact that, you hunt Bigfoot, I don't know, or that you believe in extraterrestrials, and it kind of ended up ruining the marriage. But now you look back and you're like, that isn't actually what ruined the marriage. What actually ruined the marriage was the other person's selfishness, the other person's inability to try to see who you really are and get to know you. They would rather be in love with an idea of you. And when you didn't live up to that idea or expectation, they left. It's like all of these realizations you're coming into based on pain that you've gone through in your past and that you were put through by others who you cared for, trusted, and dare I say, loved. This is a great time for you. It's a time of empowerment. It's a time of being powerful, of stepping into your power and really claiming your right to be exactly who you are without apology, and knowing that the universe will always reward you for this, and it will always have your back. So if you start to think like, if I'd only done this differently, then that wouldn't have happened, squash those thoughts immediately, because if all of that, if one single one of those regrets didn't happen, you wouldn't be where you are today. And where you are today is exactly where you are supposed to be. Don't listen to people who try to tell you what you should think, say, feel, do. Ain't nobody got time for that. Be powerful. Don't only make your own decisions, but stand firmly in them. And especially in the next week or two, I want you to stick firm to the boundaries you create. Okay? I always say it like we have no problem saying what our boundaries are, but we have a lot of problem enforcing them between us, like the people, especially on this channel. Mystic Misfits. Yes. The Island of Misfit Toys. I always wanted a Charlie in the box. Miss Paranormal Pixie, what's up, girl? And anyone else who came in. Chillin' Charlie, once again, next time let us know so that I can read for you. I've been kind of dragging these out. I want to try to get through them a little bit quicker. Paranormal Pixie, Miss KC, she's not in stream, but she listens usually during the stream, or she'll come back afterwards. She's a patron, and she did purchase a reading because she's a patron. So she won the lapis and quartz stone from you, and you're very welcome, honey. Long Island Bigfoot won the Druzied Spherolite Obelisk, and Batmom won the Golden Obsidian Palm Stone. What's up, Danny? Welcome. All right, who's next?
Sasquatch Confessions.
Sasquatch Confessions. I'm going to go with the Halloween Oracle. Thank you, Long Island Bigfoot. He said, yeah, I get some amazing readings from Gemma. She is gifted. It's actually not me. It's your own spirit team. I'm just the messenger, but thank you. Yes, I definitely will, Miss Pixie. And thank you so much for doing that. That was so sweet of you. Also, I wanted to ask Miss Pixie, tomorrow we're supposed to do... He does it to me all the time. Makes me laugh. He goes, you're humble. I get it. But thank you, Gemma. I'll be like, of course. He's like, no, but yeah, like, thanks. Tomorrow we're supposed to do chillax and chat, but I actually have some things that I really need to get done. And if I don't get them done tomorrow night, who knows when I'll be able to do them, because as most of you guys know, I do not drive. So would you be able to do a Conversations with Lara tomorrow at 8 o'clock? Or maybe you and Ghostdragonzw could do something together. That's up to you guys. But it would be great if one or both of you could fill in, because I cannot do it tomorrow. I thought you were frozen for a minute there.
No, I locked up.
I wanted to go grocery shopping. Yes, last night, but I hadn't gotten paid yet. And then I couldn't go tonight, and I really have to go. So tomorrow's really my only option, because Fridays are always a little bit weird. I did promise Sunny I would stop in to Paranormal Chop Shop at some point Friday night, so you might be able to see me over there. All right. Sasquatch, the lamp, the card of remembrance. This card comes up all the time. I light a single candle within a lamp for you, a single flame in the darkness that reflects my heart so true. Whilst it is a tradition to carve a jack-o'-lantern to scare away spirits, it was an older tradition still to light a candle or a lamp on Halloween night and leave it at the window as a loving guide home for those who have passed, both as a symbol of remembrance and also as a kind of leave the lights on for those who may wish to come home. The lamp was left on to illuminate the night and perhaps even the sadness that was felt because of the passing. This card reminds us that it's a positive thing to remember those who have passed by celebrating their life rather than mourning their deaths. For those with whom we did not have an easy relationship, or even those we did not like, leave us with valuable lessons. Sometimes we learn more from our nemesis than we do from our friends, and so the darkness can illuminate our strengths and our true values so that we can live them more clearly and fully. Okay, so there's a couple things going on here, Sasquatch Confessions. The first one is somebody that has recently passed, and it's not helpful when a physical medium or when a medium in general says recent, because for me, that's like the last 50 years. So someone is trying to get a message to you. I believe you'll know who this person is if you don't already, sense them or really know. Like, you may be someone who has been having a dream about a certain deceased loved one. Hey, nightmare. That's the way you'll know. Like, they keep popping into your head, or like a song on the radio keeps coming on that you guys, you don't have to yell. It distracts me. A song keeps coming on the radio that you guys used to listen to that you haven't, like, there is some form of communication trying to be gained here by someone on the other side. And I don't know what that communication is. I would just say that they are trying to bring some joy and enlightenment into your life and let you know that, hey, I'm okay. You can stop wondering now. I don't know if there's someone who passed, and this may not be the case, but there may be someone who passed who, like, you were worried about when they passed, maybe like where they were going, or you wonder if they're okay. You're wondering if they visit you. Do they hear you talking to them? So definitely be more mindful of your dreams, be more mindful of your thoughts, because I noticed that when spirit does this to people who can't see them, they will purposefully implant thoughts. And I see it all the time where the person's like, I don't know why I was thinking that. And it's like, you weren't. Spirit was putting that thought in there. So a good way to communicate back would be to write down a list of questions you have for them, and, just write whatever answer comes to mind. And normally, or you say the questions out loud instead of writing them, and you should be answered in your head before you even get the question out. That makes sense? I hope so, because that's the best way I can explain it. But another thing is, I feel like there's some regret on your end too of something or someone that you lost. So a relationship, a job, there was something or someone that was a big part of your life for a while. And it's like, I don't know if you lost who or whatever this is, but you may feel like you're losing what or whoever this is. And this card is saying, like, it's okay to have a moment where you mourn people and things that you lost, whether through death or just through separation, but it's not okay to get stuck there. Make sure you don't get stuck there, and you understand that you both had everyone involved, whether it was a romantic partnership of two people or, a job where you missed several people from the job, whatever it is. It's like everyone was meant to learn specific lessons and then move on. That is literally what you all were put here for, especially if it's a romantic relationship. So dwelling on it, wishing that it was still happening in your life, or maybe regretting some decisions you made at that time, it's useless. It's literally one of the most useless things, because like I said a couple of times already tonight, you just can't, like, you wouldn't be where you are. You wouldn't be who you are if these things didn't happen. And I feel like you've learned and you've grown, but there's a part of you that may not be ready to move on, maybe start doing something different with your life, or I just see you dwelling, and I don't really know on what. I'm seeing so many different things. There's this person that has passed that's trying to reach out to you. There's, it could be anything. If in the next week or two you find yourself dwelling on, things you said 15 years ago, especially, this is how I lead myself into it, right? Round and round and round we go. If somebody trying to hold something against you, like, hey, do you remember when we were 5 and you shot a spitball at me? Well, you should lend me $40 because of that. Like somebody like that like wants to use something that happened so long ago as, like, bait, or like, manipulation bait, where like they're going to try to bait you into doing what they want you to do by using emotional blackmail that doesn't even make sense. don't allow that. Okay. Don't allow people to play with your emotions. And I don't feel like you would, but I feel like it's like, that's what they're doing. But then you're like, nah, there's no way that that person's doing that to me. They are. They definitely are. Our scars make us who we are. I mean, very well put. Oh, Mama Cindy, you don't want a reading? Leverage. There you go. Leverage through emotional blackmail of the most ridiculous type. It's like something you didn't even do. Like a sibling that's like, oh, really? I can't live with you and I have nowhere to live. Do you remember when we were 2 and you ripped my hair out of my head and I had to walk around bald? Like the most ridiculous thing. Andrew and Gnomes, thank you, Nomeo. Thank you. Lotus Girl said, oh, Gemma Jade, I watched my reading, so sweet. And yes, I got to watch my back because he spies on me, stalks my Facebook and has for 20 years. He admitted it. The energy shifts are hitting you hard. Yeah. Me too, actually. I've been a lot more tired. But I'm not surprised that you're very in sync with the energy around you, especially because you're going through so much physically and mentally that it tends to affect light workers more. Yeah, Mama Cindy, so you would be in the order that you came in the chat, but because you're new, you probably wouldn't have to wait so long. You're on mute, and we're explaining to her how it works.
Yes, I know. And I said she came in at a fairly early time, so she's actually coming up. She's right after On the Rocks.
You're welcome, Sasquatch. Okay, thank you, Stephen. I know that sometimes the readings come out a little jumbled and I don't get a lot of specifics. Unfortunately, that was the case for your reading tonight, but that happens a lot too when spirit is very strongly involved. So please just pay close attention to your dreams and to your thoughts, because I feel like this person is with you and they're trying to give you a message of hope, of strength, of courage, maybe about something that you've got going on that you're worried about, or things like that. Okay. Protein.
And next.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know if you're playing me. Keep it on the low. And I'm using Aether Creatures. Yeah, but Mama Cindy, you do get put on the list, but that doesn't mean you have to have a reading. If all you have to do is say pass if you're called. That's all. It's not like you can't be in here without getting a reading. But yeah, the minute you come in, you go on a list so that we can keep things fair. And for the most part, we go in order. Sometimes we do bump up the new people if it's their first time in here. And then sometimes people will have to leave early and we'll want them to get their reading. So we'll bump them up a little bit. It's, we're all a big family in here, so we don't, bromance sandwich. Bromance. That's so bromantic. You're welcome, sweetie.
I'll be right back. The next person, if I'm not back, the next person is going to be Peachy. Okay.
Peach. Okay, you got it. Oh, thank you. My Hamza turquoises. Yes, thank you, Nomeo. And I think most, if not most people in here say the same thing. They're like new people first, because we want you guys to see what the stream is about. Oh, total. I'm like talking about my earrings. I didn't even realize it was you. What's up, boo? How you doing? Of course, Aunt Edna, of course. Okay, you pull the unpronounceable card. It's Nalika Hervey. In the shadow position. So you got it upside down. I have thousands of pairs, maybe not thousands. I have hundreds of pairs of earrings. Bam. Every time I see that emoji that you keep putting Long Island Bigfoot, I hear bam. I don't know why. I don't know. All right, card number 75. So let's see. When the Nilika Hervey appears right side up, which it didn't. It didn't. When the Nilika Hervey appears in reverse, it could mean 3 different things. Either you need to stop avoiding a conflict and address it head on. You need to get yourself into an attitude of abundance, or abundance is headed your way. Might be all three. If the meaning of Nilika Harvey appearing in reverse is about conflict avoidance, you'll know it. Reading this will make you feel like you've been busted or found out. You have fallen into the poisonous side of Nilika Harvey medicine. The right thing to do is to directly address and resolve a conflict, and you are currently avoiding it. Conflict is inevitable in life. We are all living our lives through individual perspectives, and so we experience differences in opinions, experiences, preferences, and ways of dealing with situations. In this situation, you cannot avoid conflict forever. And in fact, if you try to avoid it, you'll end up deeper in it in this situation. Also in this situation, you will fail at keeping everyone happy, trying to be nice, trying to conform and fit in, trying to pacify everyone, and trying not to rock the boat. Ruptures are inevitable in relationships. There are going to be those times in any relationship when you just don't see eye to eye, or you mistakenly say something that upsets the other person, or vice versa. What really matters in relationships is not your ability to avoid rupture. In fact, you need to begin to see conflict as an opportunity instead of as a disaster. Conflict is a way to become clear about yourself and your values and beliefs and desires. When conflict arises, including this one, you need to use the conflict to ask yourself, what do I really believe? What do I really want? Why did I really do this thing or say this thing? What do I really think in this situation? And beyond the understanding, it is also an opportunity to take action to line up with the integrity, and by doing so, to give yourself the message, I am going to stand by my own personal truth. This will cause a boost in self-confidence and self-esteem and will lead to self-trust. After all, you're going to be emotionally uncomfortable no matter whether you face the conflict or avoid it. If the meaning of the Nikola Harvey appearing in reverse is about abundance headed your way, you don't really need to do anything about it except prioritize abundance. But it would benefit you to get yourself into an attitude of abundance. Get out of the scarcity mindset. Focus on what you can do instead of what you can't do. Focus on what you do have instead of what you don't have. Incorporate gratitude focus into your daily practice. Train your mind to look for and focus on possibilities and opportunities. What makes you feel abundant? Surround yourself with other people who have an abundance mindset too. Set time aside to do abundance meditations or abundance exercises. Share your passions and your purpose, and work on any blockages, resistance that you may have to abundance. If the Nikola Harvey has appeared, there is great abundance that is trying to get to you. So, okay, yeah. And what's up, Shelly girl? I feel like all of us in this community, on this stream, I would say in this chat, are conflict avoidant a lot of the time. I don't really see you as conflict avoidant. I do feel like you give in a lot more than you'd want to, like give in because you just don't want the conflict or whatever. It's not so much like to avoid the conflict, but like you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You don't want to, have anyone be mad at you. It's not really like you're trying to avoid fight, but it's like the mindset is like, why, it would be so simple to just do this thing rather than not do it and have to deal. Like, don't worry about your consequences of your non-actions in those cases, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to do what you feel good doing, and don't do, to the best of your ability, what you don't feel like doing. Yeah, Edna, I feel like there is, there are a few things in your life right now that might be making you less inclined to be thinking in an abundant mindset. Maybe you're going through a lot. You are going through a lot physically, and it may be harder to keep your eye on abundant opportunities, much harder than it is to look at, all of the negative things that are happening or going on right now. And the universe is saying, like, all you have to do is tell the universe what you want and believe that the universe will give it, because that will show the universe that you're willing to do whatever it will take to attain it. I feel like not all of your issues. So please don't think that I am like downplaying what's happening with you physically. There are some issues here, some things going on in your life that could be very easily fixed if you would just change your perspective to one that's more positive, right? Instead of worrying about how someone else is going to feel if you say no to A, B, or C, why don't you start thinking about how good you're going to feel when you don't have to do A, B, and C because you don't want to, right? How good is it going to feel to look at someone that you know is manipulating you or that you know is using you for something and just say, no, not this time, sorry, and watch their face, right? It's nice to, I'm not saying be unkind or be mean, but sometimes it's nice to have those little wins with people that treat us like poop all the time. And we just put up with it because it's just easier to put up with it. The universe is saying now is not the time to put up with anything because it's simply easier, because it is training you spiritually. And what the spiritual draining is doing, it's causing more physical illness than what you already have going on. Who's next? He did tell me, but I don't remember. I needed to
I'm here.
You to love me.
I was just waiting for you to finish.
Why?
Because I didn't want to be rude.
To love. Where did Smoochie go? She's awfully quiet tonight.
I don't know. She's not. She's actually next.
Oh,
So Smoochie, if you're listening, you're next.
yeah, Smoochie girl, let me know, boo. Who's after Smooch?
On the rocks, if they're still here too. He
You're
asked
welcome.
to be on the list. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're welcome, Sasquatch Confessions. Enjoy your dinner. Anyone who's new and didn't get read yet, just let us know. If it's your very first time in here.
I think I got them all marked down.
You're welcome, Edna.
I put an N beside them. And I've been trying to fit him in every other one. There he is. Okay, on the rocks. It will be Smooch. It will be Peachy, Smoochy on the rocks, and then Cindy Norse.
You said Smoochie's next.
I said, oh, that's right. You just finished. Okay, Smoochy.
Yeah, I said, who's next? You're like, Smoochie's next.
Oh,
it's okay.
Yeah. Smoochy is
VP.
next. No, Vichi's next, then Smoochy.
Yes, okay. Vici, I am using the Della Nuate Oracle. Smoochy, if you don't answer by the time I'm done here, we're going to go to On the Rocks and In the Soil. My first, though, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, because it's not your first reading. Did you win? You won the other night, didn't you? Or you won the box?
Yeah, he won something, did he?
Mark won something.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, we will make sure that you don't have to wait very long. Thank you
Yeah,
so
I
much
got it
for
written
bringing
down
in.
as actually new tonight. So
Okay, cool. All right, Miss Vici. Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots throughout multiple decks love showing up in the stream. I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, you got the single card. Okay. For some reason, I thought you won the box too. Now for your personal, while I have you talking, and you know I'm speaking to you, did you want, I'm finishing up August, even though it's a couple days into August, I'm finishing up August tomorrow and Friday, which means you'll get it, you know, Friday or Saturday, definitely. Or you can have one for September, and then you'll get it like a week before. I'm trying to have them out before the 1st of September. But that's up to you, because right now I'm actually only taking for September, but because you're new, it doesn't matter. I mean, I still haven't finished August, so it's up to you if you want for August or September. All right, Vici. Card number 26, Puss in Boots. I was my young master's only inheritance. At first, that despaired him, but soon he understood that I was no ordinary cat. I asked for a pair of boots. Okay, you'll have it by Saturday, probably before, and I'll email it to you. I asked for a pair of boots and promised him that I would make him rich. I built a whole plan. I told everyone that my master was the Marquis de Carabas. I made him meet the king's daughter, and I defeated an ogre whose castle became my master's. He married the princess. Today he's rich and happy, and so am I. Your situation may not be bright at first sight, but don't get discouraged. Put on your boots and hat and try to turn things to your advantage. Learn to fall on your feet like a cat. Make fire of any wood. Use your cunning and your skills. Adapt to the situation and make the most of it. Maybe it will take some harmless shenanigans. That's no big deal. For in the meantime, it'll lead you to where you want to be. This is the epitome of the fake it till you make it card. But you can do that honorably. Okay? Fake it till you make it. It's just, you know, it's all about how you behave and how you present yourself and how you act. It doesn't necessarily mean stepping over people. But you know what? If there are some ogres in your way, kindly ask them to step aside. And if they won't, make them. You know, you've got to use your wits. You've got to, I always say, and I get so much crap for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway because this is my safe space. A smart woman knows when and how to act dumb. So does a smart man, actually. A smart human, right, knows when and how to act dumb. And I feel like it's like, you know what's going on around you, but there's at least one person who really thinks that they have you fooled. They think that you're just falling for their poop and you're just going with the program. Now, of course, you don't want to drag this lie on for too long, but in the meantime, if it serves you better to kind of keep this going for a little bit until you can make your move, until you can save money or get a new job or whatever it is to get yourself out of whatever this situation is. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be switching jobs. It could be an abusive kinship that you're in. It could literally be anything, Vici. But I feel like there are people, or at least, like I said, one person who just thinks they are pulling the wool over your eyes and they're getting over. And the universe is saying, let them think that for now. It's not the time to reveal that you know everything. Now is not the time. They are not quite yet in the right spot where the universe wants them. It's very hard, and it is going to be very hard, especially in the next week or two, to keep quiet about this, to like continue to pretend like you don't know what's really happening. When you walk into a room and it seems like everyone knows something that you don't, and you have to pretend that you don't. That's not easy to do, but the universe is asking you to hold out just a little bit longer. It's not quite the time for confrontation just yet, because I feel like this confrontation could actually get confrontational, and the universe and spirit and our teams would never try to compel us to be confrontational in that sense. We are supposed to act always with kindness and grace and love. And it's very hard to do with someone who is mistreating you, abusing you, again, with the emotional manipulation, lying right to your face, doing these horrible things that you would never do to them. But it's important that you just stay silent about it and go along as if everything's good and you don't know what's going on for at least the next week or two, okay? And it's going to be really bad if you explode or if you lose it. All right. It's not going to work out in your favor then. Whereas if you hold off for another week or two, I would say 2 at least, it'll probably work out a lot better for you in the end. Stay strong. Now, Miss Smoochie, did she answer?
Nope, I never saw her. So I'll put her on hold and go ahead and do On the Rocks.
All right. If we have time at the end, I will do a timestamp for Miss Smoochie.
Okay.
On the rocks, I am going to use Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. That's all the universe asks. Just try your best. It is very hard to let someone mistreat you. Once your eyes are open to that mistreatment, it's very hard to just sit back and continue to allow it. But sometimes it's what we have to do. And we have to do that sometimes for all different reasons. It really depends on the situation. And Han, lying is consequences. Set down the law and stick to it. It's accountability time. Amen, brother. Amen. All right, Michael Godbold. You got the Kelpie, the card of warning. And it is a deep card. It's card number 5. If you are given a warning, you should heed it. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. Understand your current limitations, yet extend your skills. Your intuition may be asking you to be aware of a danger, so pay attention to it. Most people would be familiar with the most famous of water kelpies, that of the one that lives in Loch Ness in Scotland. Those famous dark curling humps rising above the quiet depths of the loch have captured our imagination and sent shivers up our spines for a very long time. A kelpie is a shapeshifter, normally one that changes from its more monstrous form in the water into a land-based animal like a black horse, and pretty much every decent-sized body of water in Scotland has a kelpie attached to it. The word kelpie itself comes from the Gaelic word cailpach, meaning colt. The kelpie has hooves, but they are backward facing, and sometimes the kelpies sing haunting songs that are very pleasing to the ear and so sure to lure their prey. Kelpies are also said to be able to transform into non-equine land creatures, including human forms. These forms can be both male or female, young or old, but normally you can tell who they are because their hair is almost always wet. They may have seeds and flowers from the water in their hair, or they may be wearing a silver necklace that is their bridle when they are in their horse form. One myth tells of a young woman being courted by a handsome young man. He always wears a nicely forged silver necklace, and his curly hair is so black and shiny, it seems to have the sheen of water upon it. She suspects that perhaps he is a kelpie and so decides to remove his necklace while he sleeps when they are on a picnic together. He immediately transforms into his equine form, and she takes him back to her farm and has him work as a horse for a time. Her anger at his dishonesty wears off and she misses her love, so she consults the wise woman of the village to see what the best course of action should be. The wise woman takes the necklace and puts it around the horse's neck. The kelpie transforms back into his human form. She asks the kelpie whether he wishes to be with the young woman or go back to the water. The kelpie says it will stay in its human form, thus becoming mortal if she agrees to marry him. The young woman accepts him as her husband, and the kelpie stays in human form, giving up his immortality. The kelpie is secretive and hard to spot, yet if attacked or wishing to attack, does so in a lightning-fast manner without warning. It's said that if you get too close to certain parts of the loch or body of water, you could be taken, ripped apart, and or drowned. When someone was found drowned and a kelpie was suspected, they would tell everyone in the village and surrounding areas. Naturally, people avoided those places from then on, and children especially were warned off such places, being easy targets and not as strong in the water. Perhaps then such stories of kelpies were spread to protect children from drowning in the waterways. We know that drowning can happen quickly and silently, especially where the shoreline is uneven and the current strong. Many of these places have marsh and bog where it is easy to lose secure footing. Kelpies, although revered and considered to be beautiful, were to be avoided if possible. They were the embodiment of danger and the unknown inherent in the depths of the water, and a reminder that we humans can lose ourselves quickly if we don't pay the situation enough respect. Your plant companion, the water crowfoot, and your crystal companion, Morion. I've never even heard of that. Morion. My nose is so itchy. Okay. Yeah. This is definitely it's not just about someone pulling the wool over your eyes on the rocks, okay? This is, I mean, it could be that, but on a much smaller scale. What I'm actually getting here is that it's like, trying to think, because there's a few things. So let's start with this. Sacrifices that you've made for people that you've loved that may have gone unnoticed. I feel like there's definitely something here that you may be wondering about. Like, you may think that someone's lying to you. That doesn't mean that they are. It's not like with the other card where I was like, this is definitely happening. Just wait a little while. I feel like what's actually happening in your case is it's like, just ask, right? Just ask the person and see how they respond. I notice liars tend to over-explain, immediately get defensive, or refuse to speak at all. So those will be your three clues. Normally that someone's lying to you is when they're, over explaining. They refuse to speak at all, or they immediately go defensive. Now that doesn't mean that someone won't get offended if they aren't lying, but for the most part, that's kind of how it goes. I feel like it's like you've been fooled before. It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But I feel like you have the opportunity for something really good here, whether it's love or whether it's something that's more financially abundant, like a new job. But it's like you cannot, it's like you're having so much trouble trusting what and or whoever this is because of all the times that you've been fooled by the Kelpie, you know, by something that seemed too good to be true in the past. And you accepted that it's not too good to be true. It is true. And guess what? It turned out to be too good to be true. The universe is saying, take it nice and slow. Be sure to get all your questions out in the open from day one with what and or whoever this is. And you should be perfectly fine. I can't say any deceit because humans by their nature are deceitful. But I feel like whatever this is that's being offered to you, and if you don't know what it is, you will in the next week or two. I'm positive about that, as I always say. It's like, this might actually be the real deal. This could be the real deal if you're willing to accept that it could be. You can end up manifesting that this is a horrible thing, just like everything else you've ever given your love, your trust, your heart, your voice, whatever it is to. If you keep thinking in those terms, it's going to turn into something ugly. And that's not to blame you, but it does put the responsibility on you. Are you willing to accept things at face value that this person is who they say they are, or that this offer is what it's, saying that it is, or what it appears to be? Or are you going to constantly ruminate about all the times that the person wasn't who they said they were, and the opportunity wasn't what it appeared to be? It's really up to you how this goes. Whatever this offer is, whether it's of love, abundance, money, job, it could be literally anything. You will know what it is. It's time for you to maybe take a leap of faith and trust, All right. Who's next?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and do Cindy.
All right.
And I'm going to hold slow motion until the end because they may have left because of the lateness.
Okay. Mama Cindy, I am going to use the Della and Waite Oracle. A 55-year-old can definitely run away. She said, I know it's going to be good. Darn tootin'. Sleeping Beauty, card number 5. Who is Sleeping Beauty? That's Princess Aurora, right?
Yes.
You're welcome on the rocks. What's up, Madison girl? We got you. Being a princess, my life was supposed to be only sweet and joyful. Alas, a cruel witch cast a spell on me. She predicted that one day I would prick my finger on a spinning wheel spindle and die, and this is what almost happened. Fortunately, a good fairy partially reversed the curse. Instead of dying, I only fell into a profound sleep, from which I emerged sometime later by the true love's kiss of a handsome prince. The time has come to be very patient and, most importantly, to rest. You have exhausted yourself lately, having to face bad witches and curses, so your body badly needs a holiday. Don't fight against the current. Break away from your everyday life. Take the time to sleep well, think calmly, and rejuvenate. Things will work out fine once you come back from this little time off. I know it's like almost impossible to even fathom taking a break, right? Hey, Pancakes, I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. I love you and I hope you're well. I was thinking about you today. It's almost impossible to fathom. I know even me, like my job is I'm a writer. Okay. That's what I do like for a living, but YouTube takes up a lot of my time. So I consider that my job as well. And I can't imagine going like a week without live streaming or posting video. Like it's just like does not compute. Maybe a weekend. I do it every weekend, but a whole week, nah. And the reason I'm using the week as an example, Miss Mama Cindy, is because I feel like that is what you're being urged to do by your team, by your guides. I feel like you've just had maybe a really bad time of it being life lately, or maybe there's something new that's come in that's been very stressful, a lot of stress around you. And yes, that's a very broad general statement. We all deal with stress, right? But I feel like it's like at the behest almost of someone else, like someone just wishing to see you fail and wishing to see you overwhelmed. I don't know if you have a narcissist in your life, but this energy feels very narcissistic, or at the very least, very toxic. Okay. Somebody purposefully trying to wear you out, wear you down, mentally confuse you. And at the very least, okay, I really think that everything I just said is true, but if it isn't, and even if it is really, it's not being appreciated, okay? You don't do things for the thank you, but how about a thank you every once in a while, you know? I feel like you feel very ignored by someone, or at the very least not appreciated. And the fact of the matter is, what your guides are trying to tell you is, you have no control over this other person or over other people in general's behavior, okay? But what you can do is take some rest, take a time out. Cindy, take time to appreciate yourself. And once you start taking these little breaks to rejuvenate, to take care of yourself, unapologetically now, not, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't cook dinner tonight because I was taking a bath. No, like, I was taking a bath, there's food in there. And I'm just using that as an example. You know, once you start making a habit out of this, you're going to see that you are far happier in life, in your life, even with everything else that's going on, this toxicity. I know it's not easy to just get rid of toxic people. I know people say, why don't you just leave, or just don't talk to her? It's not that simple. We're humans. We get invested in our relationships. It is time for you, though, to start taking better care of yourself, and to do that unapologetically. And honestly, that's a good way to weed out the people that actually care about you, because if somebody loves you, they're going to understand that you needed a timeout and you needed a little self-pampering, right? Some rumination. I don't know why I said it like that, rumination. But people are going to be angry about that, or upset, or call you selfish because of that. Those are the people you know that you shouldn't be around. Baby UFO, what is up? I hope everything worked out okay since the wild hogs. Cindy Norris said, you're right on point. Well, thank you, my dear.
Okay, sorry. Okay, we're going to do Anna. I can't even say her other name. Anna Incarez.
I'm sorry, I don't know who Anna is. I can't help you.
Hold on 1 second. I'll find her name. She just
Ralph and Cassie Francis, what's up?
Anna, where are you?
Thank you, sir.
Here, she should be right there. Right here.
Anna Enriquez, are you still here?
I think she is.
Grasshopper, ETAI, are you still here? I was going to call them all out.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Here. Please do. Because some of them I didn't answer.
New England Dirt Roadie, Nicole, Scout Inquire. All of you guys are next. Anna Enriquez, Grasshopper, ETAI, New England Dirt Roadie, Nicole, and Scout Inquire. Nice total. Cindy Norris, don't I know it? But guess what? Even if you live in the same home, you can still try your best to emotionally detach from toxic situations, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. They hate nothing more than when you don't give them an emotional reaction and when you care for you. I'm telling you from experience, they hate nothing more. Maybe answering to authority, but other than that, nothing more. All right, Nicole is here. Anna's here. New England Dirt Roadie's here. Okay, so here's the order. Anna, New England Dirt Roadie, Nicole. All right, Miss Anna. So for you, dear, I'm going to use shadows and light. Yes, they sure do, Anna. Yeah, the order is up on the screen there, guys. Grasshopper ETAI is not answering, and Scout Inquirer is not answering. And they usually don't get readings, so.
And Mark, you should be coming up next. Mark,
Mark, you're coming up, honey.
If Grasshopper and Scout don't answer, you're good to go.
I know, but I don't know which deck it is. Good night, Ted. Sleep well. You're very welcome, Cindy. Thank you. All right, Miss Anna. Death and the Maiden, Invasion, Boundaries Violated, and Dominance. Card number 28. A leering skeleton is looming over a beautiful, naked young woman and doesn't seem to have any idea of how its presence is affecting her. Can you just take that down now so I can...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's okay. I wanted it up there. It's not aware of, and it is not interested in her response, her reality, or her needs. So, Miss Cindy, listen to this card as well, because it goes along with your reading. Anna, this is your reading, but it kind of ties into what I was saying to Cindy. The skeleton represents true death, the relentless ego, and is way too close for comfort. The vulnerable young woman is cowering and feeling herself frozen as its unwanted hand touches her. Death speaks. I am full of needs. I am hungry for life force. I need to be close to this young one, as she has all that I long for and all I have not created for myself. I will simply hover about her and take from her that which I want, her warmth, her energy, her emotions, and her beauty. She is an extension of me. What I want, I will take, and I love her too, very much, so much. I just may consume her entirely. The maiden speaks. I thought this was love, but now I can see and feel that this is invasive. It says it cares for me, and yet it just seems to want to take from me. This no longer feels right, but I feel helpless and vulnerable. What can I do? How do I break free? And what if what it says is true, that it loves me, and I'm fearful for no reason? Divination message. There is a very out of balance relationship between you and someone else at this time. It may be that you are death, taking too much and imposing on another, and all the while blind as a skeleton to the truth. Or it may be that you are the maiden and have no defenses against someone who is draining you, claiming all the while to love you. You may have been drawn into the drama and color and entertainment of a relationship that is full of highs and lows and passion, but you are now discovering that it's tiring, draining, and lacking in respect. It's time to truthfully assess this relationship and take steps to be safer, more protected, and more respected. Do not attempt to convince death of its own problems. Those real people will only draw closer, cling harder, and convince you that you have a problem, not them. You may feel fear as to what they will do once you separate from them, as they are vindictive and malicious. Wow, this is the narcissist card. Freedom is worth the trial of separating. Ask yourself, is this relationship healthy for me? If the answer is no, then you have to take steps to let go. All right. You have to put up your boundaries, okay? And not just put them up. Like I was saying before, you have to enforce them. And hold on a second. Hello, friends with monsters. Where is the person I'm reading for here? Anna. Okay. Sorry, because I got so confused because I said so many names all at once. Anna, I really feel like you have a real serious problem here. Okay. You're in some abusive something. And if you're not in some kind of abusive relationship, number one, I would be extremely surprised. It doesn't have to be physical. Okay. But it's very disrespectful. It's very toxic. It's very chaotic. It's very one-sided, and it's very ego-driven. I would say be careful for people like this coming in if the case is that you don't know anybody at all who's treating you poorly in this way and taking way too much. I feel like I said before, we become invested as human beings in relationships. And no matter if you've been with this person 3 months, 3 years, or 20 years, it doesn't matter. We become invested. We become attached. We believe in a lot of the lies and ignore the red flags because, people can change. You can change, but that's because you're a light worker, honey, and not everyone thinks the same way. Not everyone has a pure heart. This person, unlike death in this card, knows exactly what they're doing. Okay? I have no doubt about that. And I don't like people like this. I don't like people like this. I don't like this person's energy. I don't like the way that they're being shown to me. And I feel like major change, which is death in the tarot and an oracle, absolutely must happen, or the situation is going to end up being extremely dire. And I don't mean that as in a threatening way. You absolutely have the power to get out of this. I feel like you could be very it's just easier to stay in my comfort zone and not go anywhere. I can put up with it. Again, though, just like with what I said to Mama Cindy, try to start with baby steps, okay? Start by emotionally detaching, answering questions with short answers. How are you doing today? Good. Don't overshare. Any good news today? No. Do not tell this person good news. They will manipulate it. They will make you feel bad, the dehumanizing, the belittling. I feel like it's like, you know, deep down inside that you're worth more. And again, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be a boss. This could be a sister. This could be a parent. It could be anybody that you've been dealing with who is like this. The fact of the matter is, no matter who it is or what role they're supposed to be playing in your relationship, they are only playing one role, and that is drainer of your energy, stealer of your soul, remover of your essence. They are turning you into a skeleton. They're turning you have nothing on the inside. Everything's on the outside now because there's nothing left of you because they've taken it all. And guess what? Then they will discard you while still continuing to drain you and torture you from afar as though you're the one who did something wrong. I am very familiar with this person's energy. I don't know who this person is, what they actually look like, but I'll tell you, I know what their energy looks like, and I know it all too well. Please try your best to learn everything you can about these types of narcissistic relationships. Again, it doesn't matter what role they're supposed to be playing in your life. Again, parent, romantic partner, whatever, they are abusing you. And you may not see it that way because you're so used to it, or they've distorted reality so much and for so long that you don't see it. But that is what's happening here. It goes far beyond not being appreciated. Okay, you are at risk of losing everything here. And I don't mean material possessions. I mean everything. Please consider, again, taking baby steps until you can finally start feeling more like your old self and start feeling more confident in your ability to stand up for yourself. This doesn't mean you got to walk out or walk away from this relationship tomorrow, but it means that tonight the universe wants you to start really thinking about what's going on with this person in your life and thinking of ways that you can stop this, okay? That you can put a stop to it, an eventual long-term stop, because sometimes it takes years to escape these things. But as long as you are adamant about doing it, you might go back and forth a little bit because of the breadcrumbing and the gaslighting and the manipulation, and that's okay. But start keeping in the back of your mind that this person is never going to change no matter what they say. They're never going to be who they pretended to be in the beginning or from the, whenever things are good, because they're just pretending. That person actually doesn't exist. It's just a facade or mask they put on to lure you in. You must be extremely empathic because, like someone just said, narcissists prey on empaths. They definitely do. Please be your beautiful, wonderful, amazing, powerful self and get the hell away from this person. Detach emotionally first, okay? Then you'll be able to be in your power to think about a more permanent solution of getting away from them. Establishing healthy boundaries, friends with monsters, thank you, is 100% a really great start.
Okay, New England.
All right, New England Dirt Roadie. All right, Miss Smoochie, we're going to have to squeeze you in. We still have like 2 hours left, so it's not like we're...
She's stuck. Oh, okay, I didn't even see her pop back in. There she is, yeah.
New England Dirt Roadie, I'm going to use the Moonlight Night. And I can give you that. Or that. Friends with monsters. Been there. Am there. Tomato, tomato. That is a big trigger for me when I see that type of energy. All right, Netter. I needed to lose you to love me. To love. Selena Gomez, get out of my head. Thanks. All right. I believe this is clouds, but not sure. Card number 6. Yep. Confusion, unclarity, misunderstanding, insecurity, doubt, and hidden secrets. New England Dirt Roadie, A cloud can act as a veil and obscures something. And in an oracle reading, the cloud stands for that which is hidden and the doubts and confusion caused by lack of clarity. The clouds themselves, too, are vapor, never necessarily leaving a tangible shape. It's another sense in which clouds in an oracle reading can indicate how vagueness creates more misunderstanding. Yeah, it's not Knights Templar, but it's a heck of a card. I feel as though while you've been very serious about your spiritual journey and your spiritual process, honey, I feel like there's a part of it that you may not be taking very seriously. And I don't think that's because you think it's silly or because you don't have the ability to take it seriously. I just feel like you may have gotten to the point where you're like, you know, it's never going to work out anyway. You know, like the spiritual stuff, it's not really being very helpful because I still don't have A, B, or C. And I can understand that. I really can understand that. But the fact of the matter is that kind of confused thinking, okay, does cause misunderstandings. It causes misunderstandings between you and your team, you and the universe, the energy around you, right? Not connecting with others. New England Dart Roadie, I feel like you really, in the next week or two, what the universe would like to see you do is vocalize what it is you really want out of life, from the finest detail, where you want to live, what you want to do for a living, the type of person that you want to be with, what they look like, what they smell like, if you know them, like if you don't know them, how you want to meet them, where they're from. Get so incredibly specific and write it down if you have to, that it leaves no room for anything being lost in translation. I feel like the universe is just, I feel like you're back and forth with a lot of things where you're so up and down, and that's understandable because of what you've recently been through, your spiritual warfare that you're kind of still fighting. I feel like it's causing confusion as far as what the energy the universe is sending you, because it changes from moment to moment. Get oddly specific with what you want. Even if that does change from minute to minute, just put it out there. I also still feel like for whatever reason, you're not thinking clearly. You're being blinded to things. And I think it has a lot to do with where you're living, the energy still in that place that seems residual, like it's not really going to go away without some serious juju help. And the people that either are still or were upstairs. Okay, so they are still upstairs. Yeah, they are. I don't want to say they're putting spells on you because that sounds very dramatic. But the male is definitely making sure that you suffer mentally. Emotionally, perhaps. Physically, maybe. But definitely mental confusion and spiritual confusion. To combat this, you need to get away from them. But if you can't do that, again, start getting specific with the universe. Pray more, or pray as much as you can, because I know you believe in that type of thing. And it's really time for you to make a set in stone plan and goal and map out your journey for where you want to be a year from now, a month from now, because you are on a hamster wheel, my friend. And there's like no chance of you stepping off if you remain at this level of confusion. Hi, Bobby.
Nicole.
Miss Nicole, I am going to use let's use the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. Yes, please tell me. Oh my gosh. I might have to send you some stuff to put a little something outside their front door. A hamster. What's a hamster? Is that like a blumpkin? Can I say blumpkin on YouTube? How did we get here? I don't even know what just happened. You're on mute. Nobody knows we can even hear you.
And I don't think they really care.
I'll Google it. All right, Miss Nicole. Card number 11, changed the night. You have changed quickly. Dear, how queer everything is today. Nope, said that wrong. Dear, how queer everything is today. And yesterday things went on just as usual. I wonder if I've been changed in the night. Sometimes we all change slowly, a little change here, a small adjustment there, tiny shifts day by day, and over time we grow into very different versions of ourselves. But at other times we feel like we have been changed in the night. Our day might suddenly, without any warning at all, be very queer indeed. For Alice, and perhaps for you, when you receive this card, there is a sense that so very much has changed in an instant that the world has quite suddenly turned upside down or right side up, and we have not had a moment to grow used to the new reality, the way we are now, or the rules of the world we find ourselves inhabiting. When a time like this comes, we can be in shock, a little numb, and have trouble finding our way back to the center of ourselves. If you feel you may have been changed in the night, that your life has changed quite dramatically, quite suddenly, then take a moment. Remember your values, your feelings, yourself. Look about you. Steady yourself and breathe in deep. You've been rocked, and your sense of self and of reality is going to take a little time to resettle. Continue to connect with your core self. Be good to you and take it easy but steadily. Remember, you are finding out who you truly are. Until this moment, you only knew who you could be when faced with certain predictable circumstances. Now that so much has changed, you will find out so much more about yourself. And in time, this will enrich you so much. Divination, sudden, unexpected change, a shock, unexpected news, adjusting to a new situation, finding out more about who you are, inexperience and uncertainty, an identity crisis due to changed circumstances. Queer, as in strange. This was written by someone who's British, so I think queer means something different. But it's funny, I did think that as I said it. I actually have to worry about those things. Oh no, baby UFO. Yeah. Okay, so Nicole, yeah, I definitely feel like you either just received or you're about to receive in the next week or two quite a shock to the system. And I do feel like this is something that's coming out of the clear blue sky. You may have an inkling of like what it is or what it could be, but there's really no way of knowing until it happens. And I feel like it's going to force a change upon you. Okay. And it's not a bad change. It's something that needs to be changed. That's needed to be changed for a long time. And you just weren't able, for whatever reason, no judgment, to make that change happen. It could be something painful. Because the card is in the upright, though, and not in the shadow, I would say it's probably not going to be anything painful. I feel like you're going to be more relieved when you find out whatever this is. Okay. Just remember to take it slow. You're not going to, we don't adjust from, I don't know, living a certain way for 30 years. And then all of a sudden everything changes. Like now we're walking on our hands as humans instead of with our feet. I don't know. That's a ridiculous example, but that's kind of what we're talking about here, where it's like, something so drastic and dramatic happens so quickly that it's like your head almost spins. But at the end of the day, when you really think about it, you have more reason to rejoice over whatever this is than you do to actually pity it or take pity in it or feel sad in it. But it is going to be an adjustment. So give yourself as much time as you need. Take care of yourself, root for yourself, cheer yourself on. And most of all, do not return to your comfort zone. Okay, do not be a dog returning to its vomit. Don't go to someone or don't go somewhere or call someone or reach out, whatever the case may be, simply because it's what you normally would do. We have to change patterns of behavior, and we can't do that unless the word change is involved, the action of changing.
Hey, Mark. Ousted.
Mark, I'm going to use the Vampire Oracle. Might be it, but I mean, that actually very well could be it. But I feel like this is also going to be something that's extremely surprising that comes out of nowhere. So if that came out of nowhere, then yeah, more than likely that's what it is. But just be prepared for something else too, okay? Y'all always make me feel better. Thanks for that. Yes, ma'am. That is what we are here for. You guys always make me feel better too. That's why I'm always buzzing in the stream, and I don't do drugs or drink. Just water and Red Bull. I may be hopped up a little bit on the Red Bull, but other than that, somebody sent me a case of Juneberry. So I was so excited about that damn Juneberry Red Bull. I do. I snorkel all the time. I can't help it. That's what I do. No, Nicole. I can't with y'all. I cannot with y'all. All right, Mark. Let's get her done. You got the Hunter. You know, Miss Batmom, she's not even here tonight, and she won this beautiful golden obsidian palm stone.
She may pop in later. She popped in late last time.
I'll text her tomorrow and let her know. She's got a personal coming
to me. To you. I'm going to send you a bag of these. You'll love these.
Oh, nice. All right, Mark. Card number 32, the Hunter, Aggressor, Tracker, Provider. The vampires speak. Mark, there is a belief that in order to have what it is we feel we need or want or desire or are told that we must have, we must track it, hunt it, and sometimes kill it. For the hunter does not simply follow and make a friend of the creature it wishes to have. It must kill it in order to be satisfied. There is a part of you that feels this falsehood, that in order to become something, there must be a death of which you will be the cause. That there is competition and need, and that you can only have what you long for if someone else can no longer have it. And we have come to you to say that even we, who are the unnatural world's greatest hunters, need not kill. There is always a way to find what we need without taking it from another. There is within you now an urge to win in a competition where you feel there may only be one survivor. But there are other ways through to the goal you desire. You can find what it is you need from deep within. And there is also truth in the word hunter. For you to live each day, something must die. Mark, be it for the food on your table or the product that has become your walls and the home you live in, energy has given up one form and become another. Everything transforms, but for that which you seek now, the hunt needs to go within. The chase must be a part of your character, which, when hunted down and integrated, will give you what you lack in order to create what you need. You need to become the hunter of the hidden parts of your own self, of the courage you feel you lack, of the opportunity you believe you have not been given. For you breathe, do you not? And as you breathe, you, a part of you, is the hunter and must take action to obtain what it is that you long for. No one else is going to do this for you. The task is yours alone, human. Blessing. It is natural and wise to allow the part of you that is active and strong and forceful to have expression. It's time to actively seek that which you want. See how far your strength can take you. Curse. There is always the potential that the hunter can become ruthless. You can maintain discipline by focusing on what it is you seek and refuse to be distracted by the pursuit of power for power's sake. Working with this card. It is time to establish how to obtain what it is that you want. You must not ask another to go after it. And while the hunt will take place on the outside, it will also take place on the inside. You must find that part of you within that has the courage to chase what you would make yours and be honest about it. I feel like there is some kind of maybe thought in your head. I don't know if it's like an actual competition or something you're just seeing as one. But it's like, where did I put the deck for this? But it's like the universe is saying, like, even in a competition, like, you don't have to be cutthroat. You don't have to be unkind about it. It's like, it's okay to want to win, but win with dignity, right? Win with class. And I'm not saying that you don't have dignity and you don't have class. What I'm saying is you need to draw on those things now because there is something you want. And I do believe, like, you feel like someone else has it. So in order for you to get it, you have to get it from that person. It could be a promotion at work and you know the person who already is in that spot. There's only one spot. So you're going to have to one up that person, right? But you don't want to do it by cheating or stealing or lying or being disingenuous or anything like that. I feel like what the universe is saying to you here, Mark, is like, be true to yourself and hold yourself accountable in this situation and or relationship. So for example, say that you are in love with a woman and you know she's in love with you too, but she already is in a relationship. So you may feel like you need to go above and beyond to get her out of this relationship. The fact of the matter is she has her own reasons for staying in that relationship, even though she's in love with you. So what do? You have class, you have dignity, you love her from afar as much as you could. You be patient and understanding, but not to your own detriment. You don't give up your entire life for what might happen someday because she says it will, right? You still have to go about your business. You have to grocery shop, you still have to eat, shower. Do not put all your eggs in one basket in the next week or two. I feel like something that you really were hopeful that it was going to work out is kind of just going to fizzle away. So either it's like an idea that you were trying to put into practice or put into action. And then it's kind of like, oh, I really didn't want to do that. Like, I feel like it's like a passing fancy. So as long as you don't like go super hard, it's everything's going to be okay because you're not investing that much. I feel like you really just need to look deep inside, figure out what and or who do you really want. Look at your reasons why. Is it just because someone else has her? Things like that. Do you feel like you're the better person for her? Or do you feel like you don't want to lose to this other dude? You know, like in whatever situation it is, it doesn't have to be that. I'm just using that as an example. The time has come to act with dignity, with courage, and with some restraint. I feel like you could be tempted to lie, cheat, steal, win at whatever this is by any means necessary. And the universe is saying, if you do that, it will not be rightly won, and you will end up losing significantly, tremendously in the long term. Always keep your dignity about you, no matter what the circumstances. Dignity in speech or dignity of speech, dignity of body, and dignity in the mind too, which is very hard when we're running on high emotions.
Okay, we're going to do Smoochie, and then we'll do Divine because she's got to get ready to go.
Yes. All right, so let's do Smoochie, and then Divine Empathic. It'll be all about you. Mark Halstead says, thank you. I am under a period of spiritual growth. A big part of who you are. I am too. And I think a lot of people in this stream really are. So you're going to find some really awesome people that you really connect with in here. And I'm going to give you your personal, I'm going to either do it tomorrow or Friday. So we'll dig deeper into that as well. With knowing that, I can definitely give you a little bit more. Don't beat yourself up for things that you've done. Like if you've done, terrible things to people in the past, that's something you have to learn to live with, but not to your own detriment. Like you've grown, you've changed, you've learned from those things. And as long as you acknowledge that they were terrible things that you did, and I'm not saying you did, I'm just using that as an example. As long as you're acknowledging now, like now you know it's wrong to do that and you actually care, you would never do that again. So you have to cut yourself some slack and give yourself a break. Miss Smoochie, I'm using the human spirit, baby girl. Ted left.
No, he was here.
Ted Branson left. I remember Lara saying, take care, Ted. And I said, bye, Ted. Unless maybe he came back.
I thought he was here.
Smoochie, you got card number 8 in the shadow position. I am golden.
I didn't see.
Nomeo, exactly. Once your abilities start to grow and mature, you start getting deeper and deeper, Mark. It'll take off. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, Miss Smoochie. What is priceless and golden to you? When you truly get down to it and think about it, it's only the material things and physical comforts that come to mind. Is it only? Sorry. What do these quote unquote things mean to you, and why do you associate so much value in them? Is it because you're using them to fill a void, or are you perhaps worried about keeping up with other people around you with an image you have created in your head? There are also the pressures of social media and how we present ourselves, but behind all the filters and facades are humans who are hurting and putting on shows for others. Are you trying to keep up with others on social media and what they seem to have? If so, ask yourself why. And what is truly of value to you? Instead of subscribing to them, you need to subscribe to yourself. Take some time to look inward to mine what is truly precious commodity, yourself. I don't feel like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses to impress people on social media. Like that's not smoochy. But what I will say is perhaps there's a person in your life that you're valuing and you're giving them way too much value. You're giving them more value than what their actions have shown you they're worth. So you might be expecting certain things from this person when they are not capable of giving them. Also, there could be something in your life that you're using to fill a void. The universe wants to call attention to this and tell you that, you know, there's no spiritual growth in things like that. You have to actually feel every single emotion and get through them. So if you're numbing the pain or filling a void, that might also be something to think about without judgment or indictment. If that's going on, I don't know. I feel also the universe, and I feel like this is a really big message for you to hear. It's like you're a good person deep down inside. And that's one of the things you do. You place value on the people you love, whether they deserve it or not. And I feel like your kindness, your pure spirit, and you do have one, whether you believe it or not, or we can joke all day long about it, but you do. And I feel like that's going to be rewarded. I feel like the universe is telling you just watch that you don't drown yourself in your own tears of sorrow. I know there's a lot going on personally right now for you that you may be having trouble understanding. The universe is saying, make sure that you place value in the right people, in the right relationships, and give all of your time, effort, and energy to those things. You may have to, I don't know, blow off friends to help care for a sick loved one, or you might have to, Smoochie, I'm reading for you right now. You may have to blow off work to care for a sick loved one, and the people around you are going to understand. And I feel like you really need to start reaching out and trying to connect with people instead of filling a void with whatever this is that you're filling the voids with. Smoochie, this is your card. That whole reading was for you. Divine Empathic, I'm going to use a compendium of witches. The Laborer. Card number 20. Endeavor, resourcefulness, perseverance, and reliability. The waning sun casts its amber light on her garden. She sits to rest, wipes the sweat from her brow with an embroidered handkerchief, and smiles. Her hands are calloused and tired, but her vegetable garden is brimming with life. Ripe fruits hang from the trees, and the aromatic smell of figs drying in the sun lingers in the air. The laborer represents hard work, endurance, and resourcefulness. The intrinsic value of labor does not show only in the results of our work, but also in the tenacity, determination, and skills it teaches us. About the witch, Vesna Vukovic was born in the rural highlands of Bosnia in the second half of the 19th century. She was denied a formal education despite her interest and spent her life learning from nature instead. The symbols tattooed on her hands and arms identified her as an expert in traditional healing and herbal remedies. Divine Empathic, yeah. It's like it's like, yeah, things have been getting better, but you've been putting so much hard work and effort and paying extra attention to the details to try to make something work, to really help something soar and to help something succeed in your life. The universe is saying, like, don't stop, but make sure that you're not, putting everything you have into one thing. Like I just said to someone, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I would say that to you too. And I feel like you're about to be rewarded with something you've been working really hard towards, right? Some expectation you have of something you've been putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into and focus on. You are going to be rewarded for that with, seeing the growth of whatever this is. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be a hobby. It could be a side hustle. It could be literally anything. The universe is saying people may not understand what you're doing or why, and it doesn't matter to you because you're doing something here that you absolutely love, and you'd gladly give all of your time, effort, and energy to it or them if you could. The fact of the matter is, though, don't become obsessed to the point. Also, don't become obsessed to the point where you are disappointed if it doesn't grow and flourish in the time how you think that it should. Smoochie, I read for you already. I said it 4 times that this is your card, baby. This is your card. I just read this card. I said it 4 times. So go back and rewind. This is your card. Divine empathic. Yeah, like I feel like you have this expectation that because you've been working so hard on this, it needs to grow exponentially at X rate, right? But the universe is saying it's going to grow as it grows and in the universe's time. And if you're going to take that extremely personally and start becoming discouraged, then all of that time, effort, and energy is going to end up wasted. And you don't want that because it's a labor of love with you and whatever this thing is. And I do think it's like a project. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't think it's like a person. I feel like it's a project, but it's like, it's not, it's like you're happy with it, but it's not bringing in to your life whatever like you expected it to. And the universe is saying it very well could, and it probably will, but don't look at it as wasted time if it doesn't grow at the rate you believe it should. Yes, 3 times, ma'am. 3 times. I don't think I know how to count. I don't know how to count. I can barely read. I just want to make sure you see it. You're golden, baby. You're golden. All right. Who's after divine empathic?
There we go. Nut slap.
Sir, slappity slap. I'm going to use the Halloween.
Eros, I'll get you back in. You're coming up.
Oh. All right, nut slap. You are so welcome. Have a great night, honey. You got the black cat, nut slap. Fortune meets opportunity. I told you. We just talked about this last night. In traditional folklore, cats were said to have 1 foot in this world and 1 in the next. They were the conduit between the underworld and this world and fortune and opportunity. In the times of the Inquisition, the Middle Ages, cats were hunted because they were said to be allies of evil entities such as devils and witches. Black cats, being associated with the darker aspects of the supernatural, were especially singled out. Historians believe this unprecedented killing of the cats in the name of eradicating evil led to an unchecked increase in the rat population, which was responsible for the alarmingly rapid spread of the bubonic plague and the death of millions of people. These days, in Germany, for example, a black cat passing one's path indicates impending misfortune. Yet in ancient Britain, they were considered good luck and were even given to brides on their wedding day. In Japan, to this day, they are considered very good luck and bringers of fortune. Should the slinky black cat cross your path through this oracle, know that good luck and fortune will be meeting you promptly. Also know that your luck will be even quote-unquote luckier if you are prepared to take advantage of every special opportunity that comes your way. And there will be quite a few, okay? Nut slap, I do feel like there are opportunities coming in for you to get out there, get to know new people, kind of network, get your ideas out there, and to kind of grow your life, beyond what it is right now to at least some semblance of where you would like it to be. I keep seeing in your readings week after week after week that there is something and or someone coming in, and it's like they've already, like this opportunity has already presented itself, but you weren't ready and therefore didn't see it. You have to be out there communicating with people, doing things outside of your comfort zones in order to see these opportunities. This opportunity, whether it be the form of a person that you are looking to meet, or whether for whatever reason, doesn't have to be romantic, but it could be, or whether it's, a certain job that you're looking to have, an amount of money that you're trying to earn, you're not going to receive any of this good luck, this fortune, whatever this is to you. And it will tremendously change not only your life, but your well-being, at least in the short term. And then moving into the long term, the more you stick with it, it's not going to ever present itself while you're in your comfort zone. You have to step and think and then step outside of the box, nut slap. And you have to do it soon, because there's only so many times the universe is going to put this opportunity, again, whatever it may be, in your path before it no longer does. And then you have to work twice as hard to get something not as good 5 years from now. Okay. You guys all see my Skeletor head? It's made of rhodonite. And my red jasper feather. All right, who's next?
Chris Jarvis.
Is he still here?
Yeah, he's listening.
CashApp, please let us know if you're here. I know Lara's here. Danny Staten and Total Guerra. I say it different every time. And Eris Mana. It looks like Skeletor, right? All right. Yep. You literally just told me.
Chris Jarvis.
I'm going to use the Oracle of the Lonely Soul.
Yeah, I like the feather too.
Yeah, and I love your profile picture. It's so cute. Every time I look at it, I want to giggle. Portrait of a Seeker, Chris. 32. I've got to find that Knights Templar. I have to. It drives me crazy every Wednesday. And this week I actually didn't look for it. And I got a bunch more decks from my mom's too. Your journey will not leave you unmarked. Those who have sought long after wisdom will exhibit a worldliness and gravitas that is hard to deny. Your hard-won mastery of your inner gifts will shine forth as a beacon of hope seen by others who find themselves on their own quest for the truth. Share your story with those open-hearted adventurers you meet in your wanderings. Consider teaching what you have learned, for the wisdom itself will have been transformed by its time within you. It will spring forth from your lips in a way it has never been expressed before. To honor the wisdom you have received, you must also commit to never unsee what you have seen. Old familiar problems will arise, and you may be tempted to pretend to be a fool just this one more time and make the same silly, convenient mistakes you've made before. Pass on what you've learned in word and deed and shape a more wonderful tomorrow. Ask yourself, how can I be a better example to others, and how might I put forth my spiritual teachings into practice? So, Chris, yeah, I feel like you could be seeing some people from the past pop in, or situations that you've been through several or more than several times coming up in the next week or two. Yeah, guys, don't forget donations, please. They do mean a great deal when it comes to how I get paid for this stream and this channel. All right, Jarvis, yeah, you're seeing like repeats, okay? So either someone from the past and or situations that you've already been through so many times. And it's like, do you revert right back into the same old behaviors, even though you've grown so much and changed since the last time you saw this person, spoke to this person, had this happen to you, right? Or do you put into practice the things that you've learned? Do you act from the person you've become because of and in spite of all these things and these people? Or do you revert right back to the dancing fool that pretends everything's fine when it's not, and doesn't demand an apology when you should, and pretends like this is their first go round? The universe is saying it would be much more, thank you, Ghostdragonzw. It would be much better for you as far as showing the universe the lessons you've learned in order to, continue moving forward the way you are, would be to put into practice the things you've learned. Come from a place of the person you are now, the person you become because of all of these things, because of these people. All right. And that is some great advice that we can all really lean on in trying times when we're dealing with, the same situations over and over again, like dating, like it's like dating the same person over and over again. They just look different and have a different name, right? Same energy, same personality, same lies. We don't have to accept that because we are now in a place in our journey, pretty much every one of us in here at least, that we've learned so much and we've grown so much. We're completely different people than we were even a year ago. So why pretend? Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. You guys are the actual best. I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Who is next?
Thank you for putting that up for me. Was thanking her. Cashew, but I think they're not answering, so we're going to go ahead and do Paranormal Pixie.
Miss Pixie, I would like to... I didn't open this deck for tonight because I didn't feel like I was going to use it, but the Goddess Oracle or Goddess Power Oracle.
Well, hopefully you won't have to wait too long for your medicine one that was on pre-order. Medicine, there was a medicine deck. I think it's on the top of your list. It was for pre-order. Medicine something.
Oh, the medicine deck, because you said Monday and I get my medicine on Monday. I was like, no, that was last month. Like,
no. Yeah. I mean, it's on pre-order, so hopefully you won't have to wait too long.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I want the Wishcraft one so bad too, and I think I'm just going to order it. But the problem is it's been on pre-order for a really long time, and they keep changing when it's coming out, the Wishcraft. Okay. So I'm like, I don't know, because I could have swore I saw that in the store one time, because I remember the little squirrel. They have a little squirrel in all the...
Maybe they're having problems.
Amazon, yeah, because it said this title hasn't been released yet, but I'm pretty sure it's been released. It just wasn't released on Amazon.
Later, give me the name and I'll look at the store at the top of the street.
It's like it's Wishcraft instead of Witchcraft, okay. Wishcraft. And the Luminous Humanist, I'm look, the Lovely Dead, Luminous Humanist, Wishcraft, and Medicine Wheel. So I've got Medicine Wheel coming.
Yes.
I wonder where Mike Roberts is.
I was going to say something, but he came in late. You're doing Pixie now.
Well, Pixie asked, which one is that? Say which one you are talking about. The deck I'm using for you is the Goddess Power. The deck I'm talking about with Ghost Dragons is Wishcraft, Luminous Humanist, the Beloved Dead. That's the one that I really want, and that has not been released, and the Medicine Wheel.
And that one's on pre-order, and I got that coming when it comes out.
Yeah, I usually speak to Mike. I'll text him before bed, or I'll see. He might have texted me. All right, let's see. Yeah, I did. I yawned. I definitely did. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, and I only went to bed at 2:30. All right. Benzai 10. Card of Beauty, Miss Lara. Card number 6. You are at your most lovely when you're just being yourself. The Japanese goddess of beauty, Benzai 10, reminds you that knowing, accepting, and honoring yourself as a spiritual being in a physical body requires lots of self-care. Now is the time to support yourself by surrounding yourself with beauty and choosing to see its power in every aspect of your life. If you can commit to doing that, you will be amazed at how much more beauty arises to greet you. Open your eyes to the wonder everywhere. Even in the most unexpected places, beauty waits to be discovered. Consider this before you turn away from a person, place, or thing. Beauty is everywhere. It's your time to find it, and the goddess Benzai 10 will help you. Yeah, I feel like I don't think this is so much about you, but like how you've been treated by certain people, where like you've been dismissed, not based on beauty, but based on like, I don't know, there was something maybe about you that they didn't like. And it's like now you're doing a lot better than whoever this person is or these people are. So you have the opportunity to be graceful and be better to them than they were to you. Right? I don't know if that's making sense, and it is off card a little bit, but that's what I'm getting. It's like somebody who like snubbed you or treated you very poorly in the past is now coming back into your orbit, whether they have already or whether they're about to, and you're doing so much better than they are, whether they'll admit it or not, that you would have every right to give it right back to them. But the universe wants to see what you're going to do. You know, open their eyes to true beauty by still being kind and graceful. That doesn't mean you have to take their crap. That doesn't mean you have to pretend like they didn't do what they did. It just means that you don't have to do it back to them. And when you're given the opportunity, you still act with grace and class because you are a graceful and classy lady, and they're pieces of poop. Let's be honest. A piece of poop knows it's a piece of poop. We don't have to tell it that, right? And that's why people treat other people that way, because they know what they really are. So that's your lesson for the next week or two. When this happens, you know, how are you going to handle it? And I don't really think the universe is going to hold it against you one way or the other, but you know, you'll have to live with it. I know that. I don't even know why that would come up for you, because I would never see you behaving that way, even like in revenge. But I don't know. I was compelled to give you that message. So.
Okay, I'm going to go with Total Guerrera. I know they're here. They've been in and out. So.
All right, Total. I am going to use the Halloween Oracle. Who's ghosting you, Blue Crossroads? Do you want me to get him? Yeah, Nutslap, I read for you already. You were the black cat. Mark, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Have a good night, Mark.
Paranormal Pixie, I think most of us in this community do, because we put up with so much voluntarily to elevate ourselves spiritually that sometimes we just have these moments where it all comes out. And maybe that's why the universe is kind of forewarning you, like, look, this person's coming back. Oh, I know who it is.
Gemma. Real
no,
quick.
It's not me. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Do you know what card you pulled for Nutslap? You missed it.
Yeah, black cat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nutslap, this is your card, babe. All right, Total, this is all you. If you're listening, I hope you are. Crunchy with ketchup. The vampire. I just said last week, we never get the vampire. How come I never get to pull the vampire? Here we go. Emotional intelligence. The deepest, the coldest, the craving of the blood, the hole never filled, the longing like a flood. Whilst there are almost uncountable examples of vampires in literature, movies, and games, somehow the archetype of the blood-hunting, night-stalking, and somewhat elegant creature keeps being reinvented to seduce yet another generation. Although the beautiful and somewhat desirable vampire form doesn't really begin to enter the public consciousness until the mid-1800s, the idea of a human feeding upon the very stuff of life is very much older. The Egyptians, Sumerians, Indians, and the Balkan people all have mythos containing vampire-like creatures. The vampire is an interesting figure because it is both horrifying and desirable. Having someone want us so much that they desire to be that closely linked with us does feel good until we realize there's nothing much left of us to give after that. Most of us have heard of the concept of emotional vampirism, the idea that people feed off of our energy and our goodwill and take advantage of us through manipulation and their incessant neediness. Should the vampire card appear in your reading, it may indicate that you are being drained in this way and the time has come for stronger boundaries. We need to be very aware of what gives us energy in our lives and of what takes it away. We should be aware of needing people to need we should be aware of needing people to need us and why we invite people like this into our homes, workplaces, and lives if indeed we have them around us. Developing the emotional intelligence within ourselves helps us defend against this kind of emotional and psychic attack and enables us to foster healthy, equal relationships of all kinds. Bat mom, total. Yeah, man. So this is definitely about someone who is feeding off of you. And you may not even know what that means. Like, what is emotional vampirism? It is a human straw. It is someone who sucks you dry of like everything. And they're so needy and they don't give back. There's no exchange, which is why like you're not being replenished. You're not being refilled emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, psychically. The 5, I called the big 5. I just made that up now, but that's what I'm going to call it from now on. You definitely need to really focus on those who give back, those who appreciate, those who, acknowledge the sacrifices you're making, who acknowledge, who are there for you when you need them. There needs to be an equal give and take in all relationships, right? Employee, employer, yeah, like they have power because they're the employer, but that doesn't mean there can't be a mutual respect or at the very least a mutual understanding where they don't take. And then when it comes time for the promotion, they're like, nah. I do feel like this is a little bit closer to home, and it doesn't mean it has to be your significant other. It could be someone else in your orbit that you're very close to. It could be a family member, but there is someone here that I feel you need to really enforce stronger boundaries with, because otherwise you're going to go down like this emotional tube of like despondency. And it's going to hit you out of nowhere. Like, where did this even come from? Well, my friend, it came from months and months or years and years of being drained dry and having to fill yourself back up with nothing because nothing's being given to you. In the next week or two, I want you to confront this person without being confrontational. Tell them that you feel unappreciated. You feel neglected, you feel unloved, unwanted, unheard, whatever the case may be, even if it's all those things or something completely different. See how they react. And you're going to know right there whether or not this person should be in your life. It's not always easy to turn and walk away that very second, but at least you'll know where you stand with them. Did you hear the good news, Bat Mom? You won it. The golden obsidian palm stone, miss. Who's next? Who's after total? I want to make sure everyone's here going forward.
Eris Mana.
Eris is here, yes. Eris, I'm going to use the Aether Creatures. Hi, friends with monsters. Welcome back.
Actually, friends with monsters. If Shelly doesn't answer, you will be next.
Yay! Miss Shelly, are you here? All right, so that's 2, and I'm not going to read 2. So I'm going to shuffle some more. There's so many cards in this deck, and it's just like Teal Swan to make an 86 or whatever it is card deck. So full of her goddamn self. I'm sorry. I can't stand her. Okay. Cernunos. Card number 43. My brain is complete mush. Eris. You got it right side up. If Cernunnos, it might be Cernunnos. I don't believe there's a soft C in Gaelic or Irish language. I don't know. If Cernunnos has appeared to you right side up, now is not the time to hesitate or to be indecisive. Eris, believe in yourself and see that you possess the very thing that you are looking for from others. The universe is not saying that you're on your own in this situation, but it's saying that you need to see what you're made of. Perhaps in this situation, looking to be rescued by someone else or something outside of you is what stands between you and self-actualization. In other words, you have no idea of your true power, strength, and capability until the day that there is no one there with more power, strength, or capability to bring about what you want. If Cernunnos has appeared to you right side up, you may need to become aware of where you are superior, or at the very least, your strengths and where they stack up relative to other people's. You may know in what ways you are worse than, lower than, or inferior to others, but what are you better at than others? In what ways do you have more capability than others? Where do you possess information that others don't? Hierarchy is a reality in the natural world. Cernunnos urges people to recognize this and take their rightful place in that hierarchy. Taking a place higher or lower than is reflective of the truth of a person's actual power leads to consequences for all beings involved in any given system. Cernunnos tends to come to those who have forgotten their place, especially to assist those who think their position on the totem pole is lower than it is in reality. Yes, you did win. Yes. Cernunnos does not appear when it is time for you to face your powerlessness. He also does not appear when you need to be realistic or humble. Quite the opposite. He comes when you need to think big, Eris, embrace big confidence, be decisive, step into your power and act urgently. For this reason, appearing to those who are stuck in the victim position and looking for rescue when they do not need to is a favorite pastime of Cernunnos. He possesses the medicine of inevitable victory, which is why he was once a revered battle mascot. Cernunnos teaches no guts, no glory. Eris, this is actually an incredible card. Batmom, please text it to me because I'm mailing these out hopefully tomorrow, and if not, Friday at the latest. Eris, this card is saying that you are like dumbing yourself down in some way. And it doesn't have to be mentally. It's like you're not being who you truly are for fear that you're going to be judged, but like you're going to be judged in a good way. Like people are going to think you're too smart, or people are going to think, you know, you're too spiritual. Like it's like you can't win. So you just, you know, dumb yourself down, keep yourself even keel, right? Even on their level, level the playing field. The universe is saying no. Be who you truly are and shine, because there's an opportunity waiting for you that is not going to come in for you if you're pretending to be vibrating lower than you actually are. The universe wants you to vibrate exactly where you are vibrating and see what it brings and who it brings into your orbit. Your life is about to change tremendously for the better if you would just allow yourself to vibrate at, you know, whatever rate you're vibrating at. Stop lowering yourself to meet other people. You know, let the people who are on your level meet you face to face. You don't have to stoop down to lower to the people around you. Let them raise their vibration by putting the work in like you've done. Wow, that's an incredible card. I don't know that I've ever pulled that card. Ghost Dragons, are you okay? You look very concerned.
Oh, no, I'm just having a little issue.
And Batmom, you have to tell me when you get a new address. All of you do, because then if I want to randomly surprise you and send you something, I'm going to send it to the wrong person. What issues are you having? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. We're almost done, actually.
Okay.
You have a couple people here, and then you can do your timestamps, and then you can go about your business.
So, Friends with Monsters, Life with Bobby, Batmom, Casey, Madison, and then that's it.
Robert.
Oh, my cousin, yes. How did I forget him? Okay, Friends with Monsters. And by the way, I love that name.
I do too.
Friends with Monsters, do you identify on the female or male? I'm asking because I have certain decks that are more feminine and certain ones that are more masculine, and I'm being compelled to use the Wild Woman, but I don't normally use that for men. So that's the only reason I'm asking. I should use it regardless because it's your team telling me, but I've got two options here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to hold us up. I'm just... Don't you guys love this necklace? A guy. Okay. He's like, yeah, I'm a guy. All right. I'm going to use the Oracle of the Divine Circus. I'm going to get the Titan Oracle and the Viking Oracle. Those are very masculine decks, and which it doesn't mean that I can't use them for women, but like I don't use the Wild Woman Rising or the Lantern Oracle for men because I know that's a feminine deck, even though I have a couple times when the guides insisted upon it and the readings were still accurate, which that, you know.
You left all your dragon ones at your mom's, right?
I just got them all back, but they're downstairs. I grabbed every single dragon deck I have. I filled up 2 Jimmy Choo boxes. I move my stuff in Jimmy Choo boxes so people will think I'm fancy. I've never owned a pair of Jimmy Choos in my life, but the boxes are nice. He brings home the boxes. I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, shoes. There's nothing in them. I got a really nice pair of 07 Air Forces, brand new in the box, but they're not, you know, I wouldn't wear them now. I would have worn them 10 years ago. But the size, the shoe size is very small. It's like a 9 in men's, you know, a men's 9. I'm like, who wears a men's 9? I don't know anybody who wears a men's 9. Secret of, huh?
I said I wear 10s. You know, Giles collects them. He's got more shoes than you do.
Really?
Yeah.
My sons are that way. Well, I know Kyle and Damien are.
Yeah.
Paranormal Pixie said, can't wait to send you a special gift, Gemma. Hopefully I will be able to get to the post office tomorrow, Friday. That would be amazing. And it's actually funny because, swear to God, when I mail out this stuff, I have a pair of earrings for you that were given to me by my mother, but that I really think you look stunning in them. And if you wouldn't wear them because they're very different, I know you'd at least appreciate them and take care of them. Okay, card number 11. Oh, I hit my thumb. It's still missing a piece in the middle. All right, friends with monsters, this ninja goddess brings you a message. Sometimes being less visible, less transparent, less seen for a time is helpful. It doesn't mean being dishonest or deceptive, but it does mean keeping your intentions and your truths to yourself until you see the best way to attain your goals. In fact, the best way to attain your goals might be more of the iron fist in velvet glove approach. You might find that gentle persuasion works far better than direct confrontation, which can unintentionally inflame a situation and trigger defensive reactions in others, instead of finding a way to bring resolutions. If you have been frustrated that you're not breaking through into a more prominent position or not being seen as clearly as you'd like, don't worry, that will pass and you will be given your time to stand up and be seen at the right time. For now, at least, you can move more freely without obstruction, jealousy, competition, or sabotage if you keep your private affairs very private indeed. When it's time to show your hand, to reveal your intentions and speak more openly and publicly about what has been gestating, you'll know it. But for now, let things come together away from prying eyes. Just for now, it's time to keep a secret. Sounds sexy. Chillin' Charlie, welcome back. All right. Friends with monsters, this is about, there's someone in your orbit. We get these snakes in our grass, you know, the snake in the grass friend who's like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. And then they go and steal it, or they talk poop behind your back, or a friend that you open up to, a friend, and you tell them like something that's very private and then that you're feeling, and you open up to them. And then the next thing you know, it's blasted on social media for all to see. There's someone like that in your immediate orbit. So friends with monsters, if you're planning on doing something, I don't know if this is like for a hobby. I don't know if you have like a YouTube channel, or I always go to YouTube channel because that's what I do, but it could be anything. Do not tell anyone your ideas unless you are 1 billion, quadrillion, drillion, gazillion, rillion % sure that you can trust them. Okay. And probably even then I would be hesitant to give an idea away, or to give a secret away, or to say how you really feel about someone. Just in the next week or two, keep it to yourself. Okay. Whatever this vision is, whatever this idea is, it's going to come together beautifully. But I'm telling you right now, it is not going to happen the way you expect it to if you tell anybody about what you're planning, because somebody is going to take it from you, or they're going to do something to sabotage it. They're going to claim it as their own. You have very a negative, a jealous person. I would just come right out and say it. This person is very jealous of you and of things that you've accomplished, or of something that you have that they wanted, or they think they're more deserving than you. This person is very emotionally immature and emotionally unbalanced. If you know who this person is, maybe start moving away, like phasing them out. Okay. You can flat out ghost. You don't owe anyone closure or an explanation as long as you're not flat out hurting them. And this person's not going to be hurt by it. They're going to be pissed by it because then they can't use you as their own personal private whipping boy the moment, they don't like something you do. And by don't like, I mean, they can't be supportive or proud or happy for you. Total, you did not miss your spot. This is your card. You got to rewind a little bit. You got the vampire. And I would definitely go back and listen to that if I were you, because it was quite a message. Who's next? Which card? This one? She's actually, I guess, modeled after some Japanese goddess. I know that that's what the card said, like what the book said. But the Divine Circus is also one that has like really beautiful imagery. All of them do in their own way. Like that's why I can never pick one. But I think if I had to pick one, someone was like threatening my life or something, like pick an oracle deck. I don't know why anyone would do that, but if they did, I would say fairy tale. All right, who's next?
Life with Bobby.
Life with Bobby. Speaking of oracle, my favorite, let's do fairy tale. Sometimes these can be quite long. Hopefully, we'll get the one that we're supposed to get. He said, poop. Oh, no problem. Don't even worry about it. It happens. It happened to Nut Slap. I didn't see you say you were going to leave, which is why I was glad we read for you to begin with. But no big deal. A shinobi. Oh, that's what I meant. Well, she's a ninja goddess. Yeah. Thank you. All right. My brain is mush. Life with Bobby. The Little Mermaid. Card number 7, the card of sacrifice. When this card comes to you, there is every chance that you are considering making an enormous sacrifice. Firstly, you're restricting your true voice and have given up speaking from the heart about what you truly feel in order to seem more acceptable to someone else or to avoid conflict. Secondly, life with Bobby, you have given up the depth of your emotions and are trying to do your best to fit into an environment that is enormously uncomfortable for you. This could be my card right now. It's almost painful, and you are certainly feeling heavy, ill at ease, and awkward. This card asks you to consider just why you are sacrificing so much of your true self for this chance at belonging and this chance at love. This card can also come forth to speak with you when you are considering making changes to your face or body via surgery in order to be more appealing to a love or a potential love. There is so much work for you to do on self-acceptance and to understand that the path you are currently taking that involves so much self-sacrifice and so much pain will not lead to a happy ending, but to pain, suffering, and the complete extinguishing of your spirit. Please consider the changes you're making and why you're making them rather than falling deeply into a kind of trance of desire. No one has asked you to make the changes. It's your own choice and your own doing. And if you're to make them, they must be for your good, not because you wish to win, or please another. Denying your heritage, your own personal talents and skills, and your beautiful abilities will not make you more lovable. It will lead to pain and ultimately perhaps to some pity, but it will never win you love. Please reconsider now this road of sacrifice and understand that you can become a truly wonderful being by most being your own true self. There is magic, unnatural magic, which may bring you to what you wish for, but it will come at far too great a cost to even consider it. Please heed the Little Mermaid's message, Life with Bobby. Do not go further into this, but return to your true self and become who you are for your own self and your own soul's sake. Hey, multifaceted Jules. So this is a pretty serious card, right? I don't know if you know what this is about, or if perhaps it's something that's going to happen in the next week or two, Life with Bobby, but definitely someone manipulating TF out of you. I feel like someone's not flat out asking for you to do these things, but I feel like they're making it known that you'll be more acceptable to them. I'll use YouTube as an example again, going on YouTube and not being your true authentic self so that people will like you and you can gain more subscribers and likes. I did that for an entire year. I wasn't disingenuous, but I didn't talk about my abilities. I didn't talk about the paranormal side of my life at all, because I wanted people to like me so bad. And I was miserable and hurting inside and felt dead. I feel like there's something like that going on here. Like you're about to make a really bad decision in the name of love or in the name of wanting to be accepted. And I know that sounds ridiculous because we're adults, but really, how ridiculous is it? We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be liked. And if you say you don't, I would call into question whether or not that's really true at the end of the day when you really think about it. Life with Bobby, if somebody's asking you to change everything about yourself or to change one thing about yourself, and you don't feel it's the right thing for you, you don't feel, not what they feel or what anyone else feels. If someone asks you to change something, like people would ask me or tell me, you need to get off drugs. Like, obviously, they were asking me to do something that would greatly benefit me. So it wasn't against my best interest to do that. But then it was like, you shouldn't wear that. I don't like your hair that way. I don't like you talking to that person. Why did you say that? Don't talk like that publicly. Don't say that word. Stop doing this. You curse too much. You eat too fast. You drink too slow. That's what it became. And you said, wow, hits pretty much like me trying to work on things in therapy. That's great that you've taken that step. Do not people please to your detriment. It's okay to give in every once in a while. If someone's willing to give in to you every once in a while, that's compromise. That's equal give and take. That is a real relationship, a real friendship, a real kinship, a real connection. When the other person doesn't want you to be the only one giving and sacrificing, everybody has to compromise. Everyone has to sacrifice in love. And if you don't, then I'm sorry, but you're a piece of garbage. And you're pretending to love the other person. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying the other person in this whole thing. Okay? Please put an end to it. Do not change anything about yourself that you aren't 100% willing to change. And I would go so far as to say, and this is coming directly from your spirit team, not from your friend Gemma Jade, even though I'd probably give you the same advice. Yeah, Life with Bobby, and that's the, both sides of the coin. Your guides are saying, like, let it be your idea. And if it's not, don't do it. And even if it's your idea, look deep inside to find out where the idea came from and make sure it wasn't implanted. Who's next?
Mom.
Paranormal Pixie said you muddied your true self. I absolutely did. And I was horrifically miserable and sad. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that situation has changed at all, except that I have come to love myself, accept myself, and appreciate myself. And I've become more aware of what was being done to me. You're very welcome. Bat Mom, let's do myths and mermaids. Blue Crossroads. Batmom, Mermaid with Floating Flowers. Card number 37 in the upright position. An intense mermaid lies in her pond, hiding behind offerings of beautiful flowers strewn into her watery realm. She is resistant to the accolades and distrustful of her admirers despite their authenticity and sincerity. Divination message, you will soon be honored or recognized. Your accomplishments will soon be acknowledged. There is no need to be shy. You have earned the acclaim and deserve the recognition. You may feel the need to question the rewards or the motives of those who seek to recognize you. who seek to recognize you for what you've done. But don't worry, the attention is genuine and the esteem is sincere. You've accomplished a great deal in the past that was never recognized. This explains your reluctance to accept the goodwill of your well-wishers now. But now it's the time to open yourself up to the praise and allow it to heal the part of you that has been neglected for so long. Batmom, embrace being a success or a hero or the award winner without letting it embarrass you or go to your head. Well, maybe let it go to your head a little bit. You did. You won an award. No, I can understand why you're distrustful. Most of us in this community are. I just said last night, I think it was to Nutslap, I'm like, I prefer the dead so much over the living because the living hurt. The living will hurt you. And they will not think twice about it. You know, they'll abandon you. They'll take everything you have and then abandon you when there's nothing left. That's been my life experience. Not just in romantic relationships, but in friendships, with my family. It's just how it is, but it doesn't have to be. And I feel like you're coming to this place in your life where maybe you do have, you know, real people around you who care about you, who want to see you happy, who want to celebrate you. This could also be about, and it could also be about one or the other, you accepting that the people around you are not like the people who used to be around you. You know, understanding that maybe someone really does love you. Maybe someone in your life really does genuinely just want to help. I know whenever someone says they want to help me, especially if they're a guy, I'm like, well, you know, I'm married and, you know, I have to lead with that because that's been my life experience. I feel like it's something like that for you too. Like your life experience has been, you can't trust people. There's always an ulterior motive. And the universe is saying, whatever this is, whoever this is, there is no ulterior motive. Okay, this person or these people genuinely just care about you, love you, like you, want you, need you, celebrate you. It's okay. In the next week or two, accept these types of high vibrational, high energy into your life, okay, without second guessing it too much. Allow it to happen. Yes, when they want to help, they want something in return. But that is not what's going on here, at least in one area. I can't say every single person in your orbit or that comes into your life in the next week or two. Like, that's not possible. But there's at least one. There is one person here that is true blue. They are genuine. They are genuinely, you know, loving you. Whether it's in love with you or just loving you, they are genuine and you can trust them. And I feel like you would know who this is. So, okay, so I just did 1, 2, 3, 4. You were 5 readings ago from the Halloween Oracle. And this is the card that came after yours. And this is the card that came before yours. I hope that helps. All right, who's next?
Jill and Charlie, and then we do time statements.
Take the help when given freely. Yes. After Chill and Charlie, it doesn't matter if anyone comes in. We're at 10:30. I cannot do any more tonight. Chill and Charlie, I'm going to use Moonlight Night. No, Halloween deck. The vampire card from the Halloween deck. No, Chill and Charlie, I don't believe that. I believe that's what you tell yourself as a protective mechanism. Hey, but you know what? We're all the a-hole in someone's story. You know, like I always say, you know, you can ask 2 men who I am as a human being and what it's like to be in a relationship with me, and you will get 2 completely different answers. One will be like, she used my toothbrush to clean the toilet. She set my clothes on fire and tried to burn down my house. And another person will be like, she was the best woman I ever was with. I wish that it never ended. They're both right. They're both being truthful. I did those things. Mm-hmm. Because as a woman, I will take what you give me and turn it into something to give back to you. He's a vampire. All right. Chill and Charlie, you got card number 36. The Cross. Duty, conviction, suffering, burden, intolerance, principles, and indoctrination. While the cross can be representative of organized religion, this oracle card's meaning can also be expanded to include the concepts of ideology and responsibility, such as when we come across the phrase, one's cross to bear. Sometimes what is considered the right thing to do can drive us towards great accomplishments and fulfillments, but it can also, especially in cases where those ideals and principles are far too extreme, become a very heavy burden. Yeah, I feel like, Charlie, you're just taking on too much, okay? You're taking on things that are not your cross to bear. You're trying to help too many other people, and it's like there are a lot of energy vampires in your orbit. Like, you are trying to do things for yourself. You're trying to spiritually align. You're trying to get your life together. You're trying to go after your goals and your dreams. You're trying to be grateful. You're trying to maintain this positive attitude and vibrate higher. And meanwhile, you have all these, I almost said scumbags, and I don't know why that almost came out of my mouth, but you have all these people that are like, oh, that's just Charlie. Like, he doesn't matter. Just, and you do matter. You matter very much. And I feel like you have to start mattering enough to you that you can say, no, I'm not going to help you move. No, I'm not going to lend you money. No, you can't sleep on my couch. I'm sorry you're homeless. I'm sorry you're broke. And I'm sorry you have no one else to help you, but I'm not the one. Have a nice day, sir or ma'am. In the next week or two, the universe wants you to start standing up for yourself more and stop being so afraid that someone's not going to like you. Because if someone doesn't like you because you won't do something for them, you don't need them in your life anyway. You have to focus inward on yourself. Keep going the way you're going. You're doing great, but stop second guessing yourself because of what other people are saying, because of the pressures that other people are putting on you. New England Dirt Roadie got that card last week. Yeah, and it's like 40 cards in a deck, and the same cards constantly come up. Why? Because we're in that energy. Next.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and do Jules? She's
yes.
If your energy's low, you don't have to.
Yeah, no. I'm okay. We'll do Jules because she was in here before 10:30.
Yeah, she was.
Miss Jules, let's do Wild Woman because you are a wild woman. Whoa. I feel like that card just was like thrown over here for some reason. This girl is on fire. You're welcome, Charlie. All right, Miss Jules. I am whole. Card number 30. It is the card of wholeness. What qualities or desires have you repressed into your shadow because as a child you thought they made you quote unquote bad, and how can you compassionately integrate them? Jules, you are being called to lovingly descend into the realm of the shadow. There are parts of you that are yearning to be seen and heard. Consciously bring together all you find within your depths, not for the sake of attaining perfection, but wholeness, which is the ultimate path to enlightenment. In the ancient Sumerian poem, The Descent of Inanna, Queen of Heaven, comes to the funeral of her sister's husband in the underworld, the domain of her sister Ereshkigal, bedecked in 7 pieces of regalia. Ereshkigal demands that Inanna remove 1 piece of regalia at each of the 7 gates until she is naked and on her knees. Upon reaching the final gate, Inanna tries to usurp Ereshkigal's vacant throne. For this grave act of arrogance, Inanna is sentenced to eternal death. But her father, Enki, god of wisdom, instructs 2 creatures to show genuine compassion toward grief-stricken Ereshkigal. Then Ereshkigal gives them Inanna's body, and Inanna is restored to her place as Queen of Heaven. Inanna represents our conscious or spiritual self, while Ereshkigal represents our unconscious self or shadow, which, according to psychoanalyst Carl Jung, might be Jung, but I think it's Jung, is made up of repressed qualities and desires that we deemed bad or unlovable due to societal mores. The tale symbolizes the process of shadow work and Inanna's descent into the underworld while hiding behind her regalia in her attempt to dethrone her sister are what we do when we meet the shadow from a place of ego instead of vulnerability and compassion. Like Ereshkigal, the shadow does not care about how quote-unquote good we think we are, but demands that we let go of notions of good and evil and drop to our knees so we can meet, see, and validate every part of ourselves. So, Oh my God, burgled? Okay, I can't touch that because then I will lose the message. I'm so sorry. Was it her? Was it her? It was her. Okay, Jules, I feel like, you've come so far on your spiritual journey, and now crap like this is going to be what is going to set you back. And you're going to have to really try and understand, like, you're doing so well, you're being a better person, you are an amazing person, and you've come so far, and now you still have to deal with this lower vibrational BS, pretty much from trying to help somebody. And I feel like the universe is saying you didn't look deep enough inside. And that's no shade on you. It's not like you didn't do this and therefore this is happening. It's not a punishment. The universe is just calling your attention to some things that you still have held repressed from your childhood that you're going to have to start looking into and working on, like why you act the way you do, react the way you do, and things like that. The only thing I can suggest is getting a shadow work notebook. I really can explain what you need to dig into and dive into right here, but this is definitely pointing towards shadow work. I mean, that's what it literally said, and dealing with things from childhood that you've repressed that affect what's going on with you now. At least it was just the things that were taken, and Pop and I and Samantha weren't here. And I get that. Yes, things can be replaced usually, but all right, who's next?
Okay, we're on the timestamps now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's do Madison first.
All right. Madison, I'm going to do the Aether Creatures. That's hard. I'm so sorry, Jules. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be callous. I'm working. I'm shocked. It's like with as much as we do as individuals to help others and to grow so that we're not a burden or an a-hole to other people, and then they turn around and do this kind of crap. And this is exactly, though, why the world needs more of us, and why it needs us to step up and step into our power and start acting. Madison, the Chichinera in the upright. If the Chichinera has come to you right side up, it is a message to keep your eye on the prize, and whatever you do, don't give up. Don't become distracted or let your attention span lapse when it comes to what you want. Hunt down whatever it is that you desire with determination and intensity. Use your focus to fixate. This might even be a situation where obsession will benefit instead of harm you. In the situation you're in, focus is necessary because being scattered or letting go of intensity diffuses your manifestational energy. Become laser-like and totally committed to your decisions, desire, or course. The Chichinera tends to come to people when there is a wavering in the intensity as a reminder to keep up the focus. Short but sweet. Definitely feeling like things aren't happening quick enough, Madison. Like, well, I put in all this work, I put in all this time, I put in all this effort. Where's my reward? And that's very normal to feel that way, right? You're doing all this, like you want to see, like when you're gardening I don't know when you garden, all spring, you want to see the fruits of your labor. You want to see the result of the effort and work that you've put in. Especially when it's something on such a personal level as whatever this is to you. And that's how I'm really feeling it. But the universe is saying, like, you have to be more patient. Do not give up. Do not turn back. And do not set yourself back by stopping completely or changing course. You are on the right direction. You are going about things the right way. You're doing the right thing. Don't question yourself. Don't let anyone else question you. But don't try to force it. It's not time yet. In the next week or two, just keep going about your business. Again, don't listen to anyone in the periphery. It's just background noise. Keep focused. That if it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen. That's BS in your case. It is going to happen as long as you keep working just as hard and being just as positive in your thinking about the entire situation as a whole.
Okay, slow motion.
Thank you, Total. Slow motion too?
Well, I thought because they live across the sea, they probably had to go right away.
Yeah. All right, slow motion. I'm using Gateway to Liminal Spirits. Thank you, Total. Hey, Total, it's one or the other. Madison, it's something that you're working towards actively right now. Not like, if that's something you're working towards, like, you know, you've got gigs or you're taking vocal lessons or you're looking, it's not about making your dreams come true. It's about the fruition of the work you're putting into something you're trying to cultivate right now. And if you feel like something will never happen, it will never happen. It's not possible for it to happen as long as you don't believe it will. You're the creator. You're the master of your own destiny. You're the weaver of your own life. And if you're saying it's never going to happen, it's not. Gemma, the messages and card more than resonate. It makes my whole body vibrate. You have no idea how true that message was. I feel like I do, though. I was getting like I feel very personally about it, to be honest with you. All right. I'm sorry. Who was this slow motion? Walnut. Yeah, I'm basically done. Walnut. Yeah, and exactly. It doesn't mean I didn't mean to come off as callous. I just was thinking about what happened with Jules. If that's something you love, keep doing it and cultivate it. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that it'll never happen. Start right now cultivating that gift. Who says it has to happen by a certain time? I'm still looking to get my own TV show or to be on a TV show on the Travel Channel using my abilities. I'm 40 years old. You don't think people have said if it hasn't happened yet? Well, how would it have happened yet? I only started working on it 3 years ago, and I've only started wanting it again after years and years a year ago. So why would it have happened? You know, don't listen to people. Just know that. Slow motion. The walnut is associated with protection, love, dreams, inspiration, and intelligence, as well as containing, cleansing, and banishing energy. In the Italian town of Benevento, there was said to be a huge walnut tree where witches would gather to celebrate their rites and work magic. The chemical attributes of walnuts, leaves, and fruit dissuade other plants from growing underneath its canopy, which gives it an otherworldly or even sinister nature. Its nourishing nut bears an uncanny resemblance to a brain when whole and looks like a heart or an owl face when split open. Thank you so much, Miss Lara. I really appreciate that. Messages. It's time to gather together and celebrate, to enjoy the moment and cherish the company of those gathered near you. Love is in the air. Just as you would nourish your body with food, be sure to give that same level of attention to your mental and emotional well-being. What have you done lately to fascinate your mind and free your heart? You're welcome, sweetheart. All of you are so welcome. Lara, thank you. And thank all of you. Slow motion. Identify the personal qualities or the things in your life that are holding you back, then focus on containing or eliminating them. So, slow motion, I feel like this is a good time in your life for love. It doesn't have to be romantic. You could be spending more time with family or other people that you really care about. I feel like opportunities just to enjoy life, to live life, and to be well are presenting themselves right now. Maybe after a time of hardship where you really went through a lot, and this is the universe kind of leveling the playing field. Oh my gosh, Anna, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I feel like the universe is leveling the playing field, evening things out. You're about to become like much more positive, much more introspective, you know, trying to maybe be a better person or become better at something. You're just really living life and you're enjoying it for once. You may have a soulmate connection coming in. I don't know if you're married or what your romantic situation is, but I do see someone that could be a love interest. But if you're already in a relationship, then it'll just be a soul connection in the form of a friend that you really need to spend some time with, because there is some kind of connection here. So if it's not romantic, it will be something like professional or something like maybe trying to start a band. Like, I don't know. There is some reason this person is important to you. So keep your eyes peeled for new people coming into your life of the opposite sex or the sex that you're attracted to in the next week or two.
Okay, Robert Haywood.
Okay, my cousin. I'm going to use Halloween. No, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. It doesn't matter how much it is, how little it is. It all means everything to me. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Every little bit helps. And I know that, so many people don't have it right now. So when you guys give, it does mean a lot to me. I don't just say that, it really does. All right, Robert Haywood, my cousin Bobby. Death, the eternal cycle begins here. This is not death as in a physical death. 'Tis not the end, though I may pass in the night. I get to do my time over, although you may get a fright. Many pagans believe that death was the beginning of the cycle of life. When you think about it, most people consider the act of birth to be the beginning of the life cycle. We are born, we live, and we die, and depending on your beliefs, you may get to go around again. Instead, pagan cultures see death as the beginning of a whole new adventure, the place where your soul gets to choose where it incarnates, why, and what it wants to experience. Then and only then does it get born into a body that lives and eventually dies before returning to ride a new cycle. Halloween is a celebration of death as a part of life. As humans are conscious beings, we know about death, and many are afraid and uncomfortable about it. Halloween illuminates the universal truth that all of us will die, just as all of us were born, so to be fearful of that end process is fairly pointless. Halloween asks us instead to make friends with death, just as we seem friendly with birth, and to not allow our fears and grief to bring us unnecessary pain. Do not be afraid if you pull the death card, as it simply means that something is falling away or will do so. So you can begin strongly afresh. There is great power in this clearing. If you pull this card at Halloween particularly, which you didn't, this message is stronger still, and you should actively celebrate the new beginning. Robert, I feel like you're going to be receiving so many opportunities to move forward in your life and really cultivate the things that I keep hearing the word cultivate in so many readings tonight. It's like the things that you've always wanted, where you thought you would be at the age you are now. Like, okay, maybe you didn't achieve all those goals. Maybe you didn't become all those things, but the opportunities are being presented. You just have to see them for what they are and understand that everything has to come to an end and every other thing has to have a beginning. So why not start now? Why not look for love? Why not, write that book or whatever it is that you want to do? Design that video game. I don't know what your interests are anymore, cuz, but I remember when we were little, you loved video games. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's time to start living your life and stop living in captivity because you didn't succeed by now at something. Who put that expectation on you? You did. Nobody else said by the time that you're, I don't know how old you are, but I don't know. By the time you're 30, you got to be a successful businessman who's married with 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl, and owns their own house. No, but you may have told yourself that. And now that you're more than 30, you're like, well, didn't accomplish it, never will. You can't think like that. And I feel like there is something that you really depend on that's not going to be there anymore in the next month or two. And you're going to be forced out of your comfort zone and you're going to hate it and you're going to fight against it. And the universe is saying, do not do that. This is all happening for your own betterment, for your own good, and for its own reason. What's up, chapter 444? You got here just before we're ending. All right, last one, Casey, and then I've got to go. I am exhausted. I've got to get my son to sleep. Nice to see you, chapter 444. I was wondering if you were going to pop in. All right, Miss Casey, I'm actually going to use the goddess power for you. I almost went like this. I was wondering where you were, and I was going to text you, but I can't text while I'm streaming, so. Guys, don't forget, half-price readings for September, $20 to my PayPal or Cash App throughout the month of August, okay? Sooner the better, so I can get them started. Monday's video, we talked about the Ammon Demon House in Gary, Indiana. We are going to be talking about the Demon House of Detroit on Monday. Monday's pre-recorded. Links to my books, Kindle and paperback versions of all 3 of them, are in the description box as well, along with my Amazon wishlist gift link. Kuan Yin, the card of compassion in the reverse, Casey. Card number 27. Are you feeling overwhelmed by all of the suffering in the world and you can't imagine how you could make a difference? Do you feel hopeless over how we treat nature and each other? The goddess Kuan Yin knows that this is an important time of reckoning and reordering, but wants you to be careful not to fall into a pit of despair. If you allow the media to fill your mind with a constant barrage of what's wrong in the world, you will become numb and unable to move. The good news is that The good news is in your alignment task. First, focus your mind locally. Your choice is not to save the whole world, but to bring your attention to where you can help. Even the smallest step toward a greater compassion is huge. You guys are so welcome. Thank you. Educate yourself about cultural issues and be better and more conscious and sensitive about your choices. Lend a helping hand to someone in need, volunteer your time, and choose one act of random kindness daily to help alleviate suffering. Do what you can and make that count. I don't believe that. No. I believe that you need to, there's plenty more Blue Crossroads. We've got another one coming up in a week or two. Casey, I believe that you should be doing all of these acts of kindness and these small services for yourself. Okay? Taking better care of yourself and not everyone around you all the time. We spoke privately. You're ready? You said, let's do it. Start being kinder to yourself. Start being more patient with yourself. Start being more understanding towards yourself. Treat yourself how you would treat others that you love, and love yourself enough to do those things. Now's the time. In the next week or two, I feel like you're really going to have to tell people, look, I'm taking time to myself, or no, I don't want to do that. You know, I've said this multiple times throughout multiple readings tonight. We have to start saying no. And stop being yes men and stop avoiding confrontation and conflict at any and all costs, because it's costing us our souls. It's costing us our high vibration. It's costing us our energy. If you need me, girl, just message me. Everyone, I love you so much. I'm going to be out. I'm just going to be out. I'm so tired. Tonight was a long night, but it was definitely a really great one. I love the energy. I love all the new people. That is so awesome. Don't forget, Long Island Bigfoot, Spharolyte Drusid Obelisk. I am so excited. Bat Mom with the Golden Obsidian, and Miss Casey with the Lapis Lazuli and Quartz Palmstone, all energetically cleansed and cleared and charged. Long Island Bigfoot, thank you so, so much. Guys, I will see you in the pre-recorded on Monday at 11 a.m. and then again next Wednesday. I believe next Thursday I will do Chillax and Chat because I cannot do it tomorrow. So I don't know if I didn't get to see Miss Pixie's answer, but if you see it go up, it will be conversations with Lara. Otherwise, we're going to have to take a break for the week. Long Island Bigfoot, thank you. Everyone who donated, thank you. Everyone who came in and spent your time in here. Love you guys so, so much and appreciate you all. Go have your best night, your best day, your best afternoon, whatever time it is, and be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and never accept anything less than others being kind to you. Bye-bye.